Hello, everyone. My name is Katy, and welcome to the Greenland Quilter channel. Can someone, if you are sitting in the chat, please let me know you're there. Uh, yeah, there's not anyone here. Okay, so let's talk about something. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about some housekeeping. The plans that I have for the rest of December, that's going to be discussed. We're going to talk about the New Year's Eve 12-hour live. We're going to talk about my milestone that I have made. And I really hope people are watching. Yeah. So, okay. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start talking about, or we're going to have a little bit of a housekeeping discussion. So thank you, everyone who has helped my channel get to the 2,000 subscription milestone. I am so appreciative of all of you who has helped me get there. The only reason this channel hit this milestone is because of all of you. If it weren't, if you didn't come and watch my channel, encourage me, constantly talking, we would, it wouldn't have made it to there. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping my channel get there. I have some information that I'd like to share with you so that you are, because I think you should know. It will help you understand where my channel is currently, because the biggest thing I'm trying to do is I want to get a really good foundation. I'm not looking to get to 10,000. That's not my goal here. My goal is to get the channel in a strong platform and be strong. And then if it grows from there, that's okay. And if it doesn't, that's okay also. So currently, we are sitting at 2,058 subscriptions as of today. So it is slowly ticking up. I'm just so shocked by the whole thing. And let me say hello to Kathy Klein. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Linda. Hey, Donnell. And hello. Yeah. So I got those 4 people so far. And let me go ahead and I'm going to dislodge this chat so that I can get rid of a screen so it's not distracting me. Okay, let's pop the chat out, reduce the other screen, and then I can put it right next to my Zoom. Thank you, Donnell. So as I said, we currently have 2,058 subscribers as of today. Also, watch hours are the two statistics I'm going to give you right now are for the entire life of the channel. So the channel is about 16 months old now. So currently I'm at 17,100 watch hours. And my views are up to 98,500. So it's ticking up. It's doing really good. The watch hours is the one thing that I have to watch the most. If I want to keep the channel strong, the watch hours are very important. Also, I've learned something this week, and I'm not sure that everybody, as viewers, know this, but when you go into a live, hey, Cherry, is
Hi.
it Cherry?
Sherry.
Cherry?
Sherry.
Okay, so I've been saying Cherry too. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Cherry is here to join us because she's one of the paid members of the channel, and I opened up the Zoom for the paid members. So if you want to come in and sew with me on a live from now on, any paid member can come and join me. So that's part of the perk of being a member. I am not begging you to be a member, but if you want to be a member, this is one way of me paying it forward to you guys. So I'll introduce Cherry in a minute, but let me finish up with this first part of here. One of the things that I have been learning a lot by visiting 2 different channels that help small channels grow is engagement in a channel is what makes a channel grow. So whenever you're live or whenever we're live, the more you talk in the channel, the more engagement happens, and that pushes the analytics to do what it does, and that's what makes YouTube want to put your um, video out there so other people can see it. So when you come into anyone's chat, I'm not saying just mine, but anytime you're in a live chat, talk. You can talk about anything unless you have a channel person that doesn't like you doing that. But I don't know why you would even say no. Y'all can talk about anything you want to. Talk about sewing, talk about your day, keep the chat moving if you can. That's why I keep putting up polls and I keep asking y'all silly little questions because I'm trying to get more engagement because that does help, believe it or not. Okay. Too bad subscribers can't go up there with you. Joy, do you want to come up there with me? I'm not keeping it close off from you guys. I just didn't know how many of you would be afraid of being in front of a camera. I know that I could bring you into Zoom and you can have your video off, but I'm not sure if having it off works with a live. I'm not sure until one of us tests that theory. But yeah,
it does. It does.
Okay, so she knows. Cherry knows. I'm so sorry about messing up.
Don't worry about it. That's endearing, like I said. That's what you call me.
I think it's a cute name the way you spell it. So, Cherry, want to tell? Sherry, do you want to tell the chat who you are and where whatever you want to share?
Okay. My name's Sherry. I'm a long arm quilter and I'm a quilter. I am starting a YouTube channel, which is in my quilting world, which is very raw right now because there's a lot to learn.
Yeah, no kidding.
There is. And it's like, oh, let me just ask these questions, and
yeah.
And that. So anyway, I've been quilting. I've taught quilting for probably 15 years. I've probably quilted. I made my first quilt, I think I was 29 and I'm 68. Nice. So, I always said
you're a woman of knowledge.
Well, ask me.
Oh my gosh, yes. We should have a question and answer session where people who are especially newbies or people like me, I don't consider myself a newbie, but I don't consider myself an intermediate yet because there's skills in a beginner skill set I still don't know how to do. Or have an understanding of it. So, when we get long-standing quilters like you in the mix, it's a great time to have like a question and answer session where people can come in and say, how do you do this? Or why is it this way? One of the things I didn't understand is why do we have to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance? Because I used to make my clothes and those were what?
And 5/8.
5/8, yeah. So you always use the 5/8 to make clothes, and then we're making quilts using a 1/4 inch. And I really haven't heard up until about a month ago why we have to do a 1/4 inch, and it makes sense why we do. So I'm sure there's lots of newbies out there who don't know these things. It would be great to learn from people who've been doing it for a while because I am not a veteran. I've only been doing this about 5 years now, so. Yeah, you guys are great teachers.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions for anybody.
Okay, that's wonderful. And I'm going to say hello. Okay, so for those of you who are not paid members and want to come sew on a Zoom, on a live, let me put I think I have let me check. I don't, it's I don't know if I look at this the wrong way or not, but I'm not the only one that said this. I feel like subscribers are what makes your channel. And when you start doing paid memberships, which are voluntary, because I'm not really preaching it, and then they get special perks. But what about the subscribers? I mean, they come in and sit and do watch hours with you or leave your channel running in the background so you can get watch hours. How's that fair to them?
Yeah.
So the only reason I haven't done too many private Zooms is because there's such competition right now. I couldn't tell you what day of the week would be open enough to get people who are not in other people's private Zooms to come in with me. So let's try this route and see what y'all think about that. And if it goes really good and everybody's happy with doing this type of paying it forward, then I'm happy with doing that. I was going to say something, darn it. Oh, email. Let me see if I have it in my bot. If the email works here, y'all email me and say, hey, I want to come on a live. And then what I'll do is I'll email you back, but you got to answer an email. If you email me and then forget all about me, I'm done with that. I've had too much of it going on over the last 6 months, and I'm sensitive, and I'll be the first to admit that I'm sensitive. And when you leave me dangling on the end of a hook, it starts to make me mad. Because it's not fair to do that to people. I would never do that to someone. So there's my email, living.greenland2011. Email me there and say, hey, I want to join a live. And I'll be happy to put you on. Because I actually like having someone in to sew with me. It makes the live go better. It's easier. Yeah. I just posted the email, Lori, right up above you. Can you see it? Let me put it in there again. Okay. Let me say hello to some that just walked in. Hi, Lori Colgan. Hey, Melanie. Quilting in the Country. Whose channel is that? Oh, Lori. Sorry. I can see her name. Oh, my gosh. I must be crazy. Hi, Frank from Florida. Welcome, welcome. Okay. So, for those of you that missed me giving the stats, thank you for getting me to 2,000. And right now we are sitting at 2,058 subscribers. That's pretty good. That's pretty good because I hit it before New Year's because I didn't think that was going to, I didn't think that was going to happen. Then suddenly it was like everything was blowing up. So I don't know what happened. I think because I've been networking, I joined those 2 channels that help small channels, and they've been giving a lot of great advice. And I've been trading playlists with they're not quilters, but they're other things that I'm interested in. Like I like homesteaders and farmsteader videos. I watch an excessive amount of them. In between all the quilting ones I watch, I really like them. So, and there's a lot of this style of channel in those 2 channels that promote small channels, and they also promote your channel. And I think that's what's happened here is people been coming and doing my playlist. They've been watching some of my videos. They've been hitting the like button. They've been commenting, and it's helped drive things up a little bit. So that's what I call networking. And I think that that's helped me a lot because for a while there, for about 3 months, nothing happened this summer. I mean, it was like everybody abandoned me or something. I don't know. But then someone pointed out summertime, people get outside, and I forget about that because I don't know, I just did. If I was in Florida, I would never be on the computer probably. So I understand. But yeah, I was worried that maybe everybody was not happy with my work, and it's just the nature of me. And most of you know why. And I've been working on that a bit better. And Sean has been a big help with this, along with a couple other people helping me. And I feel better about where my channel is now. And, and I've also discovered something that I'm going to share with you guys. This channel is about me living in Greenland and the things I do because I live in Greenland. And so the channel is not just going to be about quilting. It's going to be about my life here. And it's going to be about the things I experience in Greenland. And, it all ties together. And there's going to be times when I talk about how I got here because of a past history that I have. And that's my history. And I shouldn't have to hide it. I just have to be mindful on how I speak about it so that it doesn't make someone uncomfortable, because that does that. So that's what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do it my way as far as the content's concerned, and we'll see what happens with it. Either people will hate the Greenland side of it, or they'll begin to love it and start paying attention to it, because I really want to share what it's like living here and share the history and talk about the Inuits, because they're indigenous to this country, and we all know that most indigenous people have suffered over the last 500 years. And these people here are strong people. I mean, they are just tough stuff, and I love that when I get around them, you can tell how tough they are. They don't, right now it's 12 degrees Fahrenheit outside. And do you think they're faced by that? No. I'm the one that's like, oh no, it's too cold now. I was fine until it dropped down to 18. And I'm like, oh, now it's really cold, you know. But anyway, you know, it's part of living here. So let's talk about what I have planned for this month, the rest of it. I haven't started my Christmas stuff yet because I was waiting on it. So right now I have my Cotton Touch Rosa Your Way Petite box, and it comes in a box like this. So here's my plan of how I'm going to do it this year. Last year, you guys probably remember that me and Danny of So Not an Expert were doing once a week Vlogmas together. She would do it one month, I would do it the next month. And we would do 7 days in a row, but it would be on one video because I'm not going to put myself through that trauma of trying to do this every day. So here's what the plan is for this go around. I talked to Kim and she loved the idea, so I'm hoping y'all will love the idea. Last year, I still have last year's fabric sitting in the box, so it's not been sewn on. I pulled a few things out of it, but it's not been touched. So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a video to video my process. I'm going to open 7 days worth of envelopes, and I'll show you what an envelope looks like. They come like this, and they'll have a number on it. And so what I'll do is every day, or I'll probably do this all in one day is probably what I'll do because I'm already behind because I had to wait. I will do 7 days of openings. Those 7 pieces of fat quarters are going to be sewn into blocks. So I will have 7 blocks to show you in a video. And if I do all the 7, and the 7 blocks are going to be simple things like half square triangles with, like I'll give you an example of what I could do with it. Where's my little card? Like I could take the cards out of the thing that I'm doing with Donna, and I can take a fat quarter and decide on a background, or I may just use what's in the box that looks like a background, and it'll be a small block. It's not going to be a big, enormous one because if I did that, then there would be too many blocks because we're talking about 31 days of this. But I figured I'd do either a 6-inch or an 8-inch block, keep it simple, do the tutorial so you can see how I sewed the blocks and how I decided on how I used the color. And then on the 7th day, I will put up a video with those 7 days worth of sewing with blocks. And I think y'all will enjoy that a lot because it won't just be straight up this every day. It'll be one video with 7 openings with 7 blocks. And then by day 31, I will have 31 blocks to sew together. And on the New Year's 12-hour live, I'm going to sew all those blocks together.
Wow.
And we'll make one beautiful, bright, petite quilt top.
That's a good idea.
And I think, we'll see what happens. Either everybody will love it or they'll hate it. I won't know until I try it.
Now, you did a 12-hour live, haven't you, once?
Yeah.
I didn't get to join that, but I think people can like that. I mean, they
had fun. Some of them stayed the whole 12 hours, believe it or not. Shelby was one of them. Yeah, so this will be my second annual 12-hour, and I'm going to start it at 8 p.m., which would be 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And at 9 o'clock, fireworks will be being shot off outside. So I'm going to try to take my camera out there so you can see what they do to ring in the new year for Denmark. And then at midnight, it'll happen again for Greenland, and we'll have more fireworks, and it'll really be a big show for the midnight one. Wow. And I think what I'm going to do is leave the laptop running, but because I'll have my phone on the live stream, but I'm going to use my data off my phone to go out and stand maybe down by the lake where you can get an overview of all the fireworks. I can't, I don't know. I might leave the volume off so you're not getting blasted in your ears. but you still might get feedback in the house because when they're shooting them off, the windows make funny noises. It's weird. It's some kind of noise it makes. So that's the plan to finish this on that night. I will I as promised, I will be giving away at least 8 of the Modern Maker boxes of the leftover fabric because I'm only making a block out of it to do the tutorial. And then I'm going to let you guys have the fabric. I'm going to pay it for it.
All right.
I'm also going to give away 4 gift cards that'll be $25 a piece. And I will have a list of stores where you can choose which place you want to get your gift card from. There'll be Amazon, Back Quarter Shop, Missouri Star, maybe Shabby Fabrics, or I might do it where it's 2 quilt shops and then Amazon and maybe Walmart, or Walmart probably. That way, those who have subscribed to my channel who are not quilters can still use the card in a different way. And if you are a quilter and you would rather use a Walmart card or an Amazon card, that's just fine with me too. But there will be some requirements concerning New Year's. You're going to have to do, I will be putting up a form within I don't know, hopefully I'll have the Google form up by Sunday, this Sunday.
Okay.
And I'm going to put it on my community tab, and I will also put it on my Facebook group. That way you can click on the link and go fill out the form. And here's why I'm going to make you do the form. I don't have time to chase everybody down that wins something. The easiest way to handle this is to have your information in a Google form. So if you're a winner, all I have to do is either mail whatever you won, or if it's a gift card, I go to the online store that I'm going to buy it from, get it done, put your email address in it because I'll have that in the form, and then voila, you get an email. And that way I don't have to wait for an answer in an email. It'll already be ready to go. And then I'll just send another email saying, I sent your package out, or I have took care of your card.
That's good.
Keep an eye out. That's the main thing. If you don't do a Google form, I just can't chase you down, put it that way. So the other thing is I can't decide on whether we should make sure that there are subscribers playing in this game. I feel like that the subscribers should have dibs on all the prizes because they subscribe, they watch my video. Yeah. I mean, it's only fair. And I might just lock the channel down where you have to be a subscriber to come in. But I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that right this minute. But maybe I don't know if I can look up everybody's name, or I can just go by the honor system and hope nobody's lying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, unless someone has a better idea of how to verify that they're a subscriber. I mean, I could put it on the form and say, are you a subscriber? And I can go look at their profile, but the profile's not, sometimes the profiles are set to private. So you can't see what channels they're actually following because they, and I don't blame them. I have my Facebook set to private. I only let a few people on my Facebook. So, that's the other thing. But I will have the form up by Sunday. I will keep reminding you, go do the form if you want to be part of the drawing. This is me paying you guys back because I feel like that we need kindness in this world. And, yes, it's an item, but it shows that I love you guys and I want to give you something in return because you come and you sit and watch me and listen to me run my mouth for a long time. Okay. Let me see what else about that's the main rules. You guys, I hope that you'll come and you don't have to do the whole 12 hours. You come in, I'll let you in the Zoom. If you want to be on the Zoom, you're welcome to be on the Zoom, or you can just sit in the channel and talk. And so it's up to you what you want to do. But when I will put my email address on that form. So if you want to be part of the Zoom part, you can email me because it'll be right there in the form. And I'll get an email from you saying, hey, I want to be on the Zoom. And I'll make sure you get a link the day before the live. That way, if you're wanting to do that, that's okay.
Okay. Good.
Now, Melanie says I will get a lot of spammers if not a subscriber. So I have to figure out what to do about that. Do I lock the... I might have to do that to keep from getting spammers. And also, if you're one of my moderators and you're in here right now, I am going to need help that night. Or I might just have to give some of y'all moderator status to help me kick out bad guys. It's either that or I lock the channel down, whichever. Maybe I could do a poll and see what y'all think about that. Should I lock it down or should I leave it open for anyone and hope for the best? I don't think I locked it down last year, but I didn't have, my channel was tiny. Nobody was after it, if that makes sense.
I don't know.
Okay. It's a hard decision because I really don't want to leave anyone out that's actually watched. Because I noticed on my status or my stats, 73% of the people who watch my channel right now are subscribers. That other 27% are not subscribed. But they come and they watch the lives and they come and watch the videos. So if I lock the live down, then that's kicking them out. Well, all it'll happen is they can't comment is what it is. Yeah, they wouldn't be allowed to comment. That's what it is. They wouldn't be able to do any of that. Melanie says, Donna, Tiffany, Ian, and Becca all do it. Okay. And she also said they do a 20-minute delay before they come in. That makes sense. That's a good idea, the delay. Okay. Let me see if I missed anyone coming in. Hi, Carissa.
Can I ask a quick question, Katy?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't see any chat, and I'm not seeing anybody but just me and you when I go up to
what you have to do you have a browser? What you can
I'm
do
on my iPad.
Oh, I don't know how you're going to do you have space to put the browser and the chat on it? I mean, the Zoom and a browser together?
Well, I've been in a chat before and use this, and I have no problem.
I know that StreamYard has a chat, but with Zoom, what I do is if you look on your browser, there's these 4 little dots up to the right side of your chat. Yeah. And if you click on it, it'll tell there's a command where it says pop out, and you click the pop out, and then you can reduce the browser itself, but keep the chat up where you can see what's being said.
Well, I can see where it says type here to chat, but
that's
I'm not seeing anybody else. Maybe I'll send something. I'll let you go ahead and do what you were going to do, and I'll just send a message, and they can let me know if.
Or you can tell me, and I'll ask them whatever you want. You know,
I'm just going to say hi. I wanted to see them. Because I only the participants. It's just me and you. Is what I'm seeing.
Okay. We should try fixing that problem after the live.
Yeah.
You just typed something. Can you guys see what you just typed?
I can see mine.
All right. Rachel Nelson says hello, and Heather says hello. It just allows only subscribers from commenting. Keep Izzy and Gizmo out. Joy T says, so does Arkansas Gal. I didn't know she went live, to be honest. I've never seen her live. She's always pre-recorded that I know of, but I'm not arguing that point. All right. Melanie says she's got to go bathe my kiddo. He's going to his mom. I'll be listening. Okay. All right. The next thing, let me show you. Well, I already showed you this is Rosa Your Way. This is a batik box. So we'll have only batiks in it, and I can actually show you a couple things that doesn't relate to the Advent itself. They always come with it says Cotton Cuts presents Rosa Holiday Your Way countdown box, and then it talks about what all's in here. And you also get the Cotton Cuts color challenge block, and you can make this block and have it turned in. So this is November's block that's due by December 15th. You can sew the block, and you can also color the back of the card And those are 2 entries to win fat quarters when you post them on the Cotton Cuts fabric Facebook group or on Instagram. And on either one of them, you need to make sure that it says this down here, this hashtag CC Color Challenge. And that way, when you load these up, the young lady that handles all the social media, she'll see this. Okay, the other thing that comes in here is this little printout. It's called Fabric Enthusiast Holiday Wish List. This for the I've been doing this since the first box started, and so I think this is year 4, I think, and they've always come with this. Now, the other thing that it comes with is it comes with these Villa Rosa quilting cards. So I'm getting a bit of a collection, especially if I've gotten 2 boxes. I'll have a repeat of these cards. So I have cards like this to give away because I have 2 of them, 2 of each one. So I'll be giving these away, and I'm probably going to stick these in some of those modern maker boxes, so so someone else can enjoy them. So that's the extra things that come in it. But I'm not going to open any of the advent part. That's going to be on a pre-record. Okay, so let me show you what else came in the mail this week. I'm pretty sure some of you have already seen the reveal of the Cotton Cuts mystery table runner and the placemats, but I'm going to show you what it looks like before you ever start sewing it. So they come in envelopes like this in the mail. And let me see, this one is the table runner. And they have envelopes, which was week 1 through 6. Also get a color card. Again, if you have more than 1 subscription for the holidays. You get backing for the mystery. And then there is the color card that shows what, and this is my colorway that I chose. So my table runner is going to look like that color. And then there'll be cases 1 through 5. And they're in envelopes like this. And when you open it, it's just like a puzzle mystery, pretty much, because it's a mystery sew. And when you open it, you get these pre-cut, die-cut pieces. And let's hope it doesn't fall off. And then you get an email saying that each week you get a release of the clues to tell you how to sew it together. So I'm behind because I just got all of my stuff. So this will be, I haven't made a decision if I think I should just do this as a completely separate video and do it like that and not mix it with the Rose of Your Way, since I have a lot going on with that. But that's the other thing that I'll be working on. So my Christmas stuff is going to be running late, but I don't think y'all are going to care that it's late. But let me show you some of the colors up close to the camera. This is one of the colors. And then there's this light blue. And there's this silver. It looks gray, but it's actually silver, I think. And then there's one more color, so it'll be in another one of the other clues. It's this smaller plant looking part. So yeah. So that's what these look like. And you just sew the clues together. And when you get clue number 6, it tells you how to sew all of them together. So I don't think it's going to take me long to sew these together because I've done this before. Okay, so now I'm done with that. All right. Sherry, what are you going to work on tonight?
I put myself on mute there for a second in case I ran the machine.
The machine can't be heard. You'll be fine. Don't
Oh,
worry about the machine. Even if
okay.
we heard it, we don't care. This is one of the things I don't care. It's
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I am totally fine with it.
Have you heard of the Hemingway bags?
Yes, actually, I have someone made one recently. Who was it? Ian or someone?
Oh yeah, Ian made. Yeah, him and Becca both had made one, and that. But I decided, I'm gonna do it, as I've been making them for Christmas, and as they get better as you go along.
Mhm.
You get placement, but I'll show you one.
Okay. All right. So any of you that just came in, if you have time after the live, go back and watch the first, when you say about 15 minutes, Sherry,
Yeah,
because
yeah, maybe
you'll
20.
you'll get to hear all the housekeeping and stuff. That way I don't have to repeat that part. I will repeat the thing about the New Year's at the end because I want to make sure everybody remembers New Year's party. All right, let me spotlight you.
Okay,
Oh,
can you
that's a
see it?
nice one. Yes. That's so pretty.
And then it's got, look at, it has rainbow zipper teeth.
Oh, you're right. It does. That is awesome.
And
Was
then,
that hard to make?
no, it was easy. It was more intimidating than anything that, before you got started.
Oh,
But
that looks like Lori Holt fabric on the inside.
might be. But I did that, and then you do the binding. Let's see. You do binding on the seams on the inside, which is real easy because it's just a flip, sew and flip and sew. But yeah,
Maybe
this is for
try one. I'm not scared to try doing a bag because I think I would suck at it.
No, I tell you what though, get good. If you do zipper by the yard, get a good zipper.
Okay.
I mean, go like Etsy or something like that, or make sure because I have zipper by the yard. My first one I did, I had no problem separating it and putting what do you call that thing? The zipper pull.
Yeah.
On. But then I tried it on the second bag, and I had extra zipper pulls from that same company, and I could not get it to work.
Oh, interesting.
But then I think I got this zipper off of Etsy, and all their zipper pulls are working. Now, the first bag worked because it had the pull already on the zipper.
Okay.
The other was additional, but then you can make cute little things like this afterwards.
Oh, that's adorable.
Because you do cut at an angle, so you have pieces left over.
Yeah.
So this is a Christmas gift.
That's awesome. You can put your cell phone in there.
All sorts of them. This is my first one.
Oh, nice. I love the outside of that one. That is so cool.
Yeah, it's the paisley.
Yeah, the paisleys. Yep.
What did I do inside? Oh, just red. Pink. Pinkish red. It's a batik inside.
Yeah, I love batiks. Can't you tell?
So I'm just working
on. Heather left. I hope she was okay. All right. Hi, Pat. I'm sorry. I'm just now saying hi. And someone else came in here. Gladys came in. Hi, Gladys. Let me see if I missed anything. Pat says, there is Frank. The room had been my hubby's craft room, and since he passed, I'm taking it over. And I know he's pleased for me. Speaking of cotton, I forgot one thing about cotton cuts. Did you guys see my post on? A lot of you participated in the poll where I gave you 3 colorways, and I asked you to vote on them and to share your comments on which one you voted on and why. And after much deliberation, and option 1, which was the purple and blue batik colorway, I was kind of leaning toward it, but at the same time I was like, man, another quilt. I already have one in purple. It's kind of, as much as I love purple. But people made a comment that they voted on, a lot of them voted on option A, which they did, because 53% on both the Facebook group and on the community tab. It was weird how close together the percentages was. I also made a blog so you could read the blog and see the percentages and stuff. But a lot of people said, I voted for option 1, but I think you should do option 3. And they told me why. And I loved it that y'all shared and voiced your opinion, because 2 or 3 things that was said was, everybody knows not only do I love purples and blues, but they also know that I love bright, vibrant color. And that means reds, yellows, oranges, blues, all of it. And this particular colorway with the Phoenix is mostly warm colors sitting in the middle of all of it. Mm-hmm. And the next thing they said is they want to see me get outside my wheelhouse, which that petite set would definitely, because it's got green in it, and I'm not much of a green person. So I chose Phoenix, and I put a really cool graphic up. I hope y'all like the graphic because I put wings around it. I was having fun. I put really bright Phoenix wings around the colorway itself. So I had fun with that. So that's what I chose. I'm only doing one, and I'm doing the large. I'm trying to, as most of you know, I have been spending a lot of time, or we've been spending a lot of money trying to run 2 households, meaning my household and trying to help my son and grandson. And I have news for y'all. Who wants to know what's happened with Thomas? Give me a heart if you want to know if you want to update about Thomas, because I got some good news for you guys.
I do.
Come on, you guys. You want to know? Because I know someone was going to ask at some point.
Yes.
Because I haven't done an update lately. A lot of stuff's been going on. It's just crazy. There's the hearts. Okay. All right. Thomas goes to work, has his first day on the job Monday morning. He got a job, you guys.
Oh, that's great.
So, the state of Georgia, this town he lives in, Carrollton, the social worker and the social programs, social services, I guess is what you call it. They have, I wish I could just brag all day about these people, because he has 4 different caseworkers, and all these caseworkers do different things. And then they assigned him a 5th caseworker who happens to be a vocational rehabilitation case manager. Wow. And what he does is, because Thomas hasn't had a job for 2 years, which makes him unemployable because he hasn't worked, which is a double whammy, between being homeless and trying to find a work, and people don't want to hire you because they think there's something wrong with you that you ain't worked for 2 years, which he's not a lazy person. He loves to work. The problem is his situation got out of hand. That wasn't exactly, he don't drink, he don't do drugs. That's not what caused this. He did have a job. He lost his job. Then we did the move from California to Georgia because California is just too expensive for a single dad raising a son. It's just not possible. And so on a minimum wage, no, not going to happen. Getting housing would probably be so hard. And we were looking into housing, and the more I looked, the more frustrating it was. So when we moved into Georgia, he spent 10 months living in a hotel and a couple times in his car, and that scared me every time they had to sleep in the car. And but he starts Monday on his job. The caseworker said that handles, because they put him in a little mini apartment. Right now, he doesn't pay rent. He doesn't pay for his electricity. None of that right now. Right. And the goal is to get him on a job. And then they sat down and discussed what would happen when he started working. They will wait 2 or 3, probably about a month, is what they told Thomas, before they revisit his income. And then based on what his income is, will be based on what percentage of his income is going to go toward rent. It will never be $500 a month because he'll only be making $12 an hour, and $12 an hour is not a living wage, not when you're raising a child. But it will get him stabilized where he can work for a while, and he may work his way up the totem pole and start making more money. I don't know. I don't care as long as he's working. I just want him to work because he loves working. So that's never been a problem for him working. The other thing that's happened is the school, the law enforcement in Carrollton, the social services part, there's a big group of people that they like adopt families every year for Christmas and Thanksgiving. And Thomas and Blaze got adopted. And for Thanksgiving, they brought food over. Someone spent money on clothes for Blaze and bought Thomas 2 pairs of pants and some shirts and shoes for him too. And so that he could go to a job interview and look decent. And because, he didn't have much. And they did all of that. And now they're going through the Christmas process. And there's been 2 families that adopted them. So it looks like Blaze is going to get a bike for Christmas because that's one person's going to buy him a bike. And I am so thankful for all of this stuff that's happened because finally things are looking up for him. So also someone, and I hope someone knows who she is. Her name is Patsy Porter. Do any of you know who that is? She's a quilter because when I tried to look her name up on Facebook, there's quilts all over her Facebook page. And I don't know who she is. I've never met her, but she went onto Amazon on his wish list and she bought a bunch more stuff that was on the wish list they hadn't got yet. So he's been getting boxes for 3 days. So,
Good.
this group of people is so, and I know I should be sewing, but I'm so happy and I'm so thankful for all of you. I appreciate y'all so much. And I better not cry.
We're happy for Thomas and his son.
I am too. I mean, he's got a long way to go, but at least now things are looking up.
Would he be willing to update the Amazon? Because I was even looking a couple days ago for his little boy for Christmas.
Yeah, there's 2 sets of Legos, but we got to put some more stuff up there. And me and my friend Melanie are working on that. We worked on it yesterday. And also, some of the things he doesn't have money to pay for, like dish soap, laundry soap, bath soap, stuff like that. We had it on the Amazon, but when you go and look at Walmart and Target, it's cheaper through them. And Target actually lets you set up a wish list. So we were talking about this yesterday. If people want to donate that too, maybe, because we're going to, I'm going to put the link for the Target wish list, because if you want to save money, we are happy if you want to save money because, stuff is pricey these days. And like, I'll give you an example. A big bottle of Dawn fragrant-free, dye-free dish soap in Amazon is almost $16. At Target, it's $11.
Mm-hmm.
And Thomas can get in his car and go pick it up if somebody buys it, and sets it as a pickup. They can, and that'll save on shipping too, because he just goes up to the store and buys it.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll already be bought. He's just got to pick it up. So there's that. We're trying to find ways to cut corners so you guys don't have to spend extra money when it's not necessary. Do you guys want me to open some of these?
Ooh. Well, I like that.
This is a lint and sprongly chocolate sauce something. I can't read some of it's in Danish. But I think it looks like it has up to Christmas Day on here, and I haven't opened it yet. But this is lint chocolate. So I can open them on live. Would y'all be interested in that?
Well, I wouldn't be able to taste one.
There's that problem. But if you want me to open this, I can. So let me know.
You
Hey,
can just
Andrea. Yeah, because I don't mind. I can show it to you because some of them I'm probably not going to eat because I'm going to save them for Nikolai. You know, gotta give the man something. That, let me tell you something. Nikolai could eat candy all the time, and I'm sitting there like, no. All right, let me open it. And then I'm going to get started on my sewing too. Pat, who's been gone 17 months that you miss? I missed part of that conversation. All right, so what is today's date? The 5th? No, the 6th. So I could open 6 days worth or show them to you at least. So let's find door number 1. Yeah, where is door number 1? You know, these teases my eyeballs. Oh, here it is. So here's door number 1 right here. We're going to open that one. And they have these little, last year we did the M&M's one because it had 3 different flavors in it. But the M&M's this year one was only peanuts. And I'm like, no, because I like just the plain chocolate one. So this one is 70% cacao. So it's called Noor Dark.
Mm.
All right. And we'll do a little taste test on a couple of them, but I'm not going to open all of them to eat. Let's find door number 2. Oh, it's down here on the corner. So I've been seeing a lot of people doing Advent boxes. You know, I didn't even know what an Advent was until I moved here because this was not a thing back when I had kids that I know about anyway. Okay, the next one is called Orange Intense. So this one's got orange in it. I want to try that one. So we're going to set that one aside for me to try. Let's see, door number 3 is up here on the other side. And this one is a touch of sea salt.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yep. Now let's find door number 4. I didn't feel like I needed to get a whole bunch of these because I think that people get saturated with them already. So here's number 4. Although I do like watching Andrea's unboxing because she's always doing cheese and a couple other food stuff. And I tell you what, that woman is brave about the cheese. Totally brave about the cheese. And I have managed to hit my keyboard and make it the chat. Okay, so this one's also dark. So here's a repeat. So definitely we'll put that aside. And that was number 4. Let's put, everything I have tried to do today has gone south. I decided to step away for a little while. Maybe when I get back to work, I'll be able to accomplish something. Are you okay, Andrea? Is there anything we can do to help you? Or do you just need to see me sewing so you want to sew? Because I know that helps. Okay, let's. I'm almost done with this. Door number 5. And this one says extra creamy. So I bet this has cream on the inside of it. Oh, you're on your laptop? And where's number 6? Okay, number 6. Uh-oh, this one's hiding. I don't see number. Oh, there it is. And number 6 is dark again. So we're going to see lots of dark, I bet, in this box. So that's number 6. Okay, we're done with that. just have to make sure I don't leave it on the floor because Nora might try to eat it. And that would be bad because chocolate is bad. Okay, so your next question of the day is, what am I going to sew on? Okay, as most of you know, I've been participating in Donna of Handmade by Ying's membership, where we're sewing a block every week. So this week's block is XX. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to use my background for the corners and for the parts of the half square. Oh, I needed 5 of those, looks like. Yep, I did. All right, let me show you the colors I'm going to use. And I'm going to use triangle paper. So this is one. So what the plan is these 3. The top half here is going to have this color.
Well, that'd be pretty.
The bottom half here is going to have this color.
I like that.
And then the background will be the batik white. It's not exactly a white, but this will be the background.
Pretty.
And it shouldn't take long because I'm going to do triangle paper with it. So that'll be fun.
It'll be fast.
Yeah, it'll be fast because it doesn't take me long to do it when I do it like that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is set them up as a set, and then I'll just start sewing them. All right. Anyone want to ask any questions? She says she wants to sew, but she has edits to get done and patterns ready to test. Hey, speaking of patterns, you haven't sent out an email, have you? Because I know I'm going to test one of her patterns again. Hey, you know what you could do, since it's so close to Christmas, if you want to wait, I don't know if you're in a hurry for the testing, but if you wanted to wait till after Christmas so that you could breathe, that might be a good idea, Andrea, so that you can sew. I know about the editing takes time. All right. She says, I want this. Yeah, all right. Pat says pretty colors. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have put, let me show you the foot I put on here, because I like to use this for this particular open toe foot for doing the paper with, because you can see the lines on the paper. Yeah. Also, it's acrylic and it just slides right across that paper. It doesn't like, I don't know, grab the paper. The other thing I do is I'm going to set my stitch length down to a 1.8 or a 1.7. I have gone smaller than that, but when you make a mistake, it takes forever to rip out that. So I've learned 1.8 is good enough, because I generally don't make that many mistakes on triangle paper anyway. So what I'm going to do is 3 at a time, because I need, let me show you the paper. So each half square triangle, I'm going to put it on the smaller one. You make one of these block squares, you can make 2 half squares, and I need 3. So it'll be 1, 2. I must be crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't need that many of them. Ah, my mistake. I always get confused sometimes. But anyway, each block makes 2 half squares, and we need 3 for the top and 3 for the bottom. And then we're going to need 3 of these squares right here that are 3.5 inches. And the triangle paper I'm using is 3.5 unfinished. So when I get the triangles made, I'll need to trim them down to 3.5 to be like this, because when they're unfinished, they'll be more like 4 inches, I think, something like that. So we'll go ahead and start making these up. And I'm going to start with the turquoise one first. And you want what you want is the right side to face down to the right side of the whatever you're using as the back. With batiks, it really doesn't matter because they look the same. And sometimes you'll notice there's more vibrant on one side than the other. Now with this one, I can tell that the right side is actually more vibrant anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it to that. But with the white, I can't tell the difference. It looks the same to me. So I'm going to put them together, right side to right side. Then I'm going to take my paper and we're going to lay it right on top of this, and you can line it up however you want to. And then what I do is I'll show you in a minute. I'm going to pin it in 2 or 3 spots so that it doesn't move, but I'm not going to pin it where I'm going to be running over it with the sewing machine. The idea is just to keep it still long enough to start that first seam, and then you don't have to worry about it. Hey, Susan, welcome, welcome. All right, so let me show you how I pinned it. Now it's pinned. That's all I had to do. There's 3 pins in there. Now what I'm going to do is there is lines on the paper. You're going to see dash lines and a solid line. You sew on the dash lines because the solid line is where you're going to cut with your rotary cutter. And when you cut, you always try to make sure that you stay right on that solid line, because if you veer off a little bit, you can change the stitch width, and sometimes it can make the half square triangle come out wrong. So you try to be as accurate as you are cutting and sewing on those lines. Or you can just use a bigger half square triangle pattern and then trim down. So that's, like Kimberly likes to make them a little bigger, and then she trims them down just in case she's made a mistake. But I'm not here to promote that. Y'all do y'all. All right. So let me go ahead and start on this one. Hi, Mr. Hubby. Oh, he put a second camera up. Awesome.
I was trying.
That's outstanding. I like your background. Oh, look at the post. So cute. What's the pup's name?
Lacey May.
Hey, Lacey. Okay. And hi, Susan. Welcome, welcome. Anyone else coming here I missed? And someone says she loves triangle paper. I do too, especially when you have an enormous amount of them, because I feel like you waste more time drawing lines than anything. And I don't want to draw lines. I'm lazy. Okay, so it does have arrows that tells you to go a certain direction, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can do it any direction you want to because it doesn't matter. Now, if it's like a big sheet of it you're sewing, you might want to follow the arrows. That way you can go all the way across. Because I have sewn it where it was a big piece of paper with a big piece of fabric for both of them and do all of it at once by doing it like that. But since we're only making 3 of this color and 3 of the other color, it's not needed to do it like that. So I'm just going to do it the easy way, which means I'm probably not going to follow much of it. Okay, so let's get to sewing. I think Jess might join us in a little while of Sew Blessed with Jess. She said she's going to try to drop in and say hi. Also, when it gets close to Handmade by Ying's live starts at 7, or does it start at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time? Hey, John. I think it starts at... Yeah, I think it starts at 7 Eastern Standard Time. So I will be dropping you into her channel, and then I'm going to go over there and sew a little bit with them because I have lots of sewing to get caught up on. Because yesterday and the day before, I haven't been sleeping, as most of you know. And yeah, and when I can't sleep, it makes me tired. I wish there was a cure for sleeplessness. Are you having fun, Sherry? What happened to the camera? Did you give it up? I can't hear you.
He's got my phone. So he's
okay. He's trying to fix it.
He's trying to get it on my laptop.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because you can use the Zoom link for any of that.
Yeah, and I can't get it into my, it's not on my email on my laptop. It deleted it, but it's on my iPad and my iPhone. So he's
well, here's what you can do. Do you have Facebook Messenger?
Mm-hmm.
You can share that link with someone, me, whoever, and then take your phone and go to your messenger and click on it that way. That's what I do all the time with my phone. I'm lazy. So I just send it to Nikolai's messenger, and then I go pick it up from his.
Okay, let's see what he can do.
I'll do it. I got it.
He says he's got it.
Okay. It's one of those little, let's cut a short, make a shortcut. Thank you, John. God says, congratulations to the 2,000 subscribers. It's an epic achievement. Yes, it is. I never thought I would get there. You know, it is kind of scary at the same time. You know, something, I watched a video of, I think they're called VidQ or something like that, but they have the website where this part of YouTube actually, I think, and you get reports from him every so often, like when you make a milestone, I'll get an email from him. And I watched one of his videos, and something he said kind of shocked me a little bit. He said that when you get to 3,000 subscribers, and once you get pushed over the 3,000, the subscribers you started out with in your early part of your channel change. Some of them, like, just they don't unsubscribe, they just don't engage anymore because you get a whole new group of people that are following you. And I thought, gosh, why? But I guess
it could be what's coming up in their YouTube screen, you know.
Because I hope you guys will stick around and watch me grow.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I would have to do something really horrible to run all of you off. And I mean, it would have to be bad.
Are you excited to get your puppy?
Yes.
It's been, wait, it's born now, isn't it?
Huh?
It's been birthed, right? It's
yeah, when we go pick her up, the situation is complicated about this puppy because she's coming from Russia, and
okay.
that's where Nora come from, and the European Union and every country in the world has pretty much put restrictive sanctions, which I agree with the sanctions, but the problem is the people are paying for the sanctions. They can't even use their bank account outside of their country. If they want to buy something from like Amazon from somewhere in Europe or the United States, they can't because their bank account's locked out.
Wow.
That's part of the sanctions. So what she's going to do is I'm going to be paying her cousin who lives in Poland, and the puppy's going to get picked up by her cousin, and then the cousin's going to turn the puppy over to a friend that is friends with her and her friend in Poland, and she's going to be on a plane because she's she's probably the same woman that brought me Nora. She's an airline attendant, and so a lot of times because she's going to be flying from one point to the next, she will take a puppy with her because she's allowed to do that. And that's how and we just meet in Denmark and pick up the puppy at the airport. And it works itself out really good by doing it like that. So that's the plan. I don't have an exact date yet, but I do know it's either going to be the second week in January or the third week in January. Nikolai called me the Sunday and said that, see, originally he was supposed to be getting off the boat on January the 11th, but now it's been pushed to January the 13th. So that means I have to evaluate when I want to fly to Copenhagen, because I always set a contingency because weather can be a factor in preventing us from flying. And now that Nuuk has opened its international call sign, I won't be flying through Kangerlussuaq anymore because they closed the airport.
Oh.
Because now it belongs to Nuuk. And so it'll be from Narsarsuaq to Nuuk because now it's wintertime, so there won't be a straight shot from Narsarsuaq to Copenhagen because of the weather. So I'll have to fly from here by helicopter to Narsarsuaq, then get on the Dash 8 and go straight to Nuuk. But I'm still going to try to fly on a Tuesday or a Thursday because it saves money doing that.
Yeah.
because it's right now it's so expensive to fly with Air Greenland. It's just ridiculous. But the advantage to Nuke is I no longer will have to go to Copenhagen to fly to the United States, which makes me happy. Instead of 9 hours in the air between Copenhagen to the East Coast, or 11 hours from Copenhagen to the West Coast, I can now go through Nuke, and then it's a 4-hour flight from Nuke to Newark, and then I could just, get another flight going wherever I got to go.
And Katie, is there a password to get into your Zoom? A passcode?
Yeah, hang on.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I got to figure out how to give it to you. Hold on a minute. Can I just email it to you? Would that work?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Can you entertain them while I fix this for you?
Oh, hi everyone.
I
was gonna ask Katie eventually if she got pictures of her puppy yet.
Yes, I do, and a video.
Oh, good. Oh,
okay, so he needed a passcode, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Did he need a meeting ID also?
Nope, just the passcode.
All right. Let me email that to you.
Okay. Is everyone working on their Christmas gifts for sewing tonight, or are you doing something for yourself? I finally got done. Well, I have 3 quilts, baby quilts to do that I'll get done by the beginning of the week. And then I have no more quilts till January, which is nice because now I get to sew.
You said you had a long arm business, didn't you?
Yeah. I've done that for 20 years. The time flies, girl.
Wow.
Yep. It just flies. I've got, I don't know. I started it when we lived in Ohio, and then we came down here to North Carolina, and the business has been good. I was teaching in at a quilt store here for like 10 years. So, you teach classes, you're their quilter.
Yep.
So now I'm trying to finish off my quilts because I'm not teaching at a place anymore. I'm trying to finish off the quilts that you wouldn't believe how many unfinished quilt tops I have. It's just,
well, I could tell you how many I have. I have almost 16.
I got a small dresser with projects started. I've got bins with projects started. I pulled one out, and all I needed to do is put a border on. I got it done, and it's quilted.
Oh, cool. Did he get the email?
Did you get the email? Check my email.
Yeah, because I sent it.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer a couple
comments. Go ahead.
Here. John says your channel is incredible. It attracts people. If it wasn't interesting and inspiring, I wouldn't keep returning. Well, thank you for saying that. And then Lori from Quilting in the Country says, what kind of puppy? I'm getting another standard Dotson, and she's going to be the same color as Nora, which is black and red, but her hair is going to be long. So it'll be interesting to see. What's going to be interesting is to see what happens between them, because they're girls, and they're girls in a pack work different than a male and a female do, because the females always rule the whole pack. So we're going to see who's dominant and who isn't. But if the puppy's young, she'll be 7 months old when we get her. So, I don't know if she'll already have established a dominance in where she's at now or not. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see. But either way, it's going to be fun watching the reaction. And y'all, I stumbled across a video today of her and Coda greeting Nikolai when he came in the door. She sat on the bed and howled. It was the most mournful howl, like last time when she heard Coda's barking and making noises. Aww. She just sat, and when I looked at her eyes, she looked at me, and you could see sadness in her eyes. She still remembers that he was around, even though it's been since August. So anyone who says dogs don't remember things, oh yes, they do.
They do. They do. I think the puppy will be good for
Yeah,
her.
I think it'll help her feel better. Yeah, because that's the idea. She's like this little she's like this little bungee cord. Everywhere I go, she goes. And if my legs are bare and I don't have pants on, I feel her cold nose on the back of my cap. It never leaves that spot. It's hilarious with her. Frank says may not want to let too much info out there in the world. Never know who's listening or why. Okay, good thoughts. I was a little bit wondering how much I should say because I don't want to get
Intercepted, huh?
Yeah, that's a good word. Yeah, just what I need. I'm 62 years old and I get intercepted by someone bad. Right. That would be very bad.
We'll be seeing you on TV.
Yeah. She got kidnapped by the. Well, at least Nikolai's going to be with me, so there's that. Because he's meeting me in Denmark. We're going to go see his dad, and I'm going to IKEA so I can buy me an Alex cabinet.
The real IKEA.
Yeah, all y'all been saying, when you getting back in your sewing room, Katy? My friend who lives in New York, when you getting in your sewing room, Katy? You need to get off your butt and get over she doesn't say it that way, but she's like, the only way to get past this trauma that you have is to just get in there and suck it up. And she's known me for 30 years, so she knows why I'm being like I'm being, because when it triggered the PTSD stuff, you have to ride it. You can't fight it because it just makes it worse. And it's better. I stopped having, for a little while I was having dreams again, but now the dreams have stopped. So thank God. Now it's just a matter of getting my brain to turn off where I can go to sleep. I think I watch too many electronic stuff, and I'm wondering if that doesn't trigger. I wonder if that doesn't contribute to sleeplessness.
They say
too much technology might be the cause. Or you think I'm just full of, what? Pat says, congratulations on your 2,000 subscribers. You made it. Thank you. Hey, Deb S. Welcome. John Clark says, actually, I remember my grandmother teaching me how to knit when I was a child. Oh, that's so cool. Hey, guys can knit and crochet and sew. It just depends on what you like doing. Or you can do what my husband does and build Legos. I thought my kids were Lego fanatics, but he's got them whipped.
Sherry, there's one called MQBM's Zoom meeting. No.
Did it not work?
I don't.
I copied and pasted it into the email. I didn't type it.
He caught. Okay, go into my email, not my phone, but on my laptop. You got to go on my laptop.
Yeah, you should be able to just copy and paste it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it's asking you for one. It's weird how it does sometimes and other times it doesn't.
Yeah. Let me get it.
Okay, let's make sure I sewed both sides, because when I was doing half square triangles on paper the other day, one of the seams never got sewn. So when I was cutting it apart, there's this loosey-goosey. I'm like, oh no. Oh, leave it up to me. All right, I have them sewn now, so we're going to get the rotary cutter out and we are going to trim them down so you can see what they are going to look like. I just need to make sure I have both sides done. Okay.
Give it to
Now
me.
I've got to move some stuff.
Bring it here.
All right, let me get a cutting board up.
Get to your email. It should come up on here though, if it's an email. Right?
Okay, let's see.
Why wouldn't it come?
Oh, it will sit up here. I just don't need this lazy Susan up here. Good. That saves a problem. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I have sewn on the little dashed lines. And here's what the back of it looks like. So you have an idea.
Your email.
No, you'd get it on your phone.
How about Messenger?
There's a solid line in the middle here, and that's the seam. That's where you cut it with the rotary cutter. But first, I'm going to trim it. All right. Let's get this on this trimmed.
Okay. Last time we're going to try it. You can go ahead and test to see the connectivity of your devices. If it's still down, I will go ahead and escalate the ticket.
Then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and cut it down the center first.
So you're connected to one that says
when he goes into Zoom with that laptop, he's going to have to mute the sound and the mic.
Yeah, because it's squill.
Yeah, or you're going to have something in your ears that you're not going to like. It's going to be this little screeching noise, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I've trimmed it first. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it down the center. And I'll end up with 2 half square triangles from this one block. And then what I like to do is I like to take my paper and I'm going to fold it toward the seam. And then I'm going to turn it around and take the small end, the thin end, and also fold it to the seam. And you're going to be like, why? So I'll show you in just a minute. So before I pull the paper off, if you open the paper up, you see how you can see the little dog ears? I wish they'd come up with a different name. You see how you see this? If you leave the paper on, trim this first. Then when you pull the paper off and you open your half square, you won't have these on here to have to deal with them after the fact. I always do this before I pull the paper off. And then as far as the paper, you see how I have it turned this way? I'm going to turn it where this side faces out. The paper's up here at the top, and I rip it down the middle. And then I pull it this way, and I didn't trim the dog ears, as you can see. But I wanted to show you how I tear the paper. And the reason I tear it like that is you do not want to tear your paper from the corners because you can rip the seams out really easily. So this one, I'm going to have to trim the dog ears without the paper on it. I just wanted you to see how easy this comes off on the thin side for the most part. Every now and then you might have a little bit of a sticky thing going on, but see, it just comes right off. Okay.
Now, 3812, that's the fallback number. Okay.
Let's see if you can. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and get these ears off.
So, okay, and then last thing I have is, do you want to write down the ticket?
Also, I'm thinking about, we're going to look at table desk. I want to buy a table desk that can go up and down.
Oh, nice.
So if I want to stand and sew, I can. Because sometimes I spend too much time sitting in the chair, which makes my back hurt sometimes. It's not so much my back as it's I have 2 bad discs in the lower lumbar, and it affects my hip quite a bit because there's nerves that are like damaged. And then I ignore pain. I tend to ignore pain a lot when I'm awake. You know, I don't take medicine until it's time to go to bed, only because I just don't like taking it during the daytime. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm just going to go ahead and clean all these blocks up, and then I'll press them open, and I since these half square triangles are going in a different direction, I might just press the seams open because their seams is going to be matching each other. Okay, I'll decide when I get ready. The other thing is I got to make sure these are set. Oh, one other thing. Before I forget, I need the ruler to do that with. I need to make sure these are 3.5 inch finished. Right now they're 3.5 inch. Yeah, I'll show you in a minute. I don't want to confuse anybody. Okay, let's see what everybody's saying. John says blue light from devices can disrupt your sleep pattern. Is there blue lights on TVs too?
Did you get it?
I hear an echo.
Wow.
One time I heard the echo and I was looking all over the place and come to find it. And then Jess comes on and she says, it wasn't you that was doing the echo. It was her doing the echo because she had left the volume on her TV.
You sign out. Just close it.
Blue light from devices disrupt your sleep. And then Frank says, yes, John, I had to get blue light blockers for my laptop. Yeah, because I sit on the bed a lot of times and watch TV and run the laptop at the same time doing work. What did Andrea said something. Where is her comment? She made a comment someone's congratulating her on. Oh, she says she's in a better mood now. Somebody just bought a pattern. Yay! Hey, how many of the modern tumbling block ones have you sold by any chance, or is that allowed to be asked? Inquiring minds want to know. John says he did start an original business, but it folded. What kind of business did you start? I think a lot of people's businesses went bust because of the pandemic. In fact, it hurt. This town got really hurt bad by it. I probably could have trimmed these down while they still had paper on them, but I didn't. And it's okay. Don't have to. Okay. And I know that you see me standing up and can't see my head right this minute. It's because I don't sit and cut. I stand and cut. That's another one of my weird things. A lot of people, that's probably why I can't use a Martelli rotary cutter, because most everybody using them sits down with their cutter. And when you stand up with that cutter, it goes right off to the right. So I'm going to give it away as a gift. That's no, oh yeah, that's also going to be a door prize. It's never been used, but I'm going to give it away. Someone who might appreciate it. Because I sure don't appreciate it. Okay, let me see here. Has everybody done the poll that I put up at the top of the chat? And let me read the question in case you didn't see the poll, because I'm curious to see how many people. Oh, wrong thing. Got to look at it. Looks like. Okay. The question was, what year was the first sewing machine invented? And then down in the chat, you had to tell me who you think was the first inventor of the sewing machine. And so far, 30% say 1851, 26% say 1829, 17% say 1848, and 26% says 1832. If you haven't voted on the poll, vote, because I'm going to give you the answer here directly. Although I got to go get that man's name because I can't pronounce part of his name. And if I remember right, the inventor of the sewing machine was a person of color. Because I think I saw that in a history thing about sewing machines. That the one that made the very first one was a person of color. Because he was making he was some kind of sewist, and he came up with a way to sew these things he was making by hand so that he could, you know, get more done, be more efficient. It's interesting how you learn stuff about sewing. Everybody's quiet.
I got on my laptop, but I didn't get, I'm not with the group chat.
Oh,
It's just me and you. I don't know why it's doing it, but that's okay.
it was making noise.
No, it wasn't. It's not let me see the other people.
Oh, wait, no, wait. Oh my gosh, I know what the problem is. Take the laptop and go to YouTube to where the live is at. And mute
got
the
it on-
live. List, hang on.
Okay.
Stay on Zoom on what you're using for Zoom right now. But if you're going to use your laptop too, get on the laptop, go to the channel where the live is at, make sure you mute it, and then you can see the chat, and I'll show you how to take the chat off of the screen itself, and you can reduce the browser and leave the chat up where you can see what's going on.
Okay.
Sorry, I just realized,
Okay.
uh-oh, I told you something wrong.
And then you can see the change. Hold on, I'm gonna try to mute. Wait, I forgot how to mute.
The mute should be right there in the screen itself. Can you see where right above?
I'm probably on my settings here.
Let me go bring the browser up so I can point you to the right
I'm
direction.
sorry.
Hey, I know how to show you. Hang on. Wait. I'm going to share the screen. Hold on a second, because I can do that with Zoom, and I'll show
You know what, Katie? I could have this on. No, if I'm on pause, I wonder if it will show me the. It's showing me the live chat, but I wonder if it'll update.
I don't know, but
Yes,
let me
it
share the
is.
screen
It
and I'll
is.
walk you through it. You see
Okay.
it?
Yep, I got it.
Okay, all right. And then set your chat to live instead of you see how it'll say there's two settings for that live chat, that little arrow next to it. It'll say top chat, live chat, click on live chat. And then to separate it from the browser, go to the far right. You see those four little dots?
I'm on.
Click on those four little dots.
Okay.
And then on the list, you'll see community moderation, participation, or participants, moderation, timestamps. And there's one where it will say you can undot or flip the channel or something like that.
Okay. Let me do.
Yeah, because I got mine off of it, so it doesn't show it now because of that.
Hey.
Find it?
It's interesting.
I can always untoggle mine and walk you through it if you want me to.
That's okay. I don't want to mess with everyone else. Yeah, I see John on John Clark on the chat, and he was talking about the blue lights. That's as soon as I'm okay. No, I just got another one, so I think I'm getting a chat.
Okay.
So that's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good deal. You're welcome, and I can help you more over time. You know, every time we get together. Before we go
Okay.
live, I can walk you through that too to get it more where you're
Make sure.
to that. Yeah, it takes a little while. I mean, I didn't even know you could toggle the chat off the browser, and I was looking at the buttons. I'm like, what's on those buttons? And I clicked on the button, and I'm like, what does toggle mean? And so I clicked on it. Next thing I know, it's dislodged from the browser. And that's how come I have the chat here and the Zoom here. So I can see both of them, because if I don't, then it looks like I'm looking, I mean, it still looks like I'm looking up, which is weird because the camera's right here in front of me. But, you know, because I'm looking, I have a monitor so that I can see everything better, because this laptop's video doesn't work because I dropped, or it got knocked on the floor. So the laptop itself works, but there's no video on the screen because it got cracked. And we only had it a week when that happened. And you can't return it for that because that was our fault. I left it on the bed and he went to sit on the bed and it hit the floor. I didn't do that anymore. Okay, there's some more comments. Katy, seeing you in braids reminded me of what happened to me a couple days ago. I gave myself an accidental haircut with my rotary cutter. Oh no. Yeah, my hair is really long. You see that? I sometimes when I'm in the kitchen, I worry it's going to end up in the whatever I'm cooking. When Nikolai's home, he puts the braid on the back so I don't, you know, have my hair hanging down, because I'm always after him. Will you braid my hair, please? He's quite good at braiding it. I wish I could teach him how to French braid. That would be fun. But that's harder because I need someone else's head to teach him that. All right, what else do I see in here? John Clark says, yes, get blue light from all devices with a display. TVs, laptop, and phones. How do you buy one for a TV? Because I have a 55-inch TV. Look at the time. What time is it? Oh, we're doing good. Good. I'm just making sure we were doing fine. All right, what I'm going to do now is, well, first I'm going to show you what one of these look like. I'm going to finger press it and use my trusty little seam roller. That's what this is. And I'm going to open it first with my fingers. You don't want to be pulling on the bias because it can make your block wonky. And this is what the turquoise one looks like.
That's pretty. I like that.
Actually, Lori, that's a good idea. And then let me show you the other one. The other one, and then I'll go press all of them. Hey, is this a good idea putting this Martelli cutter up here without the rotary part of, or the Lazy Susan part of it? Because when I tried to put the Lazy Susan up here, it's too big. And I need to close my blade. Okay, and this is the other one.
That's pretty.
Yep, I like these hashtags. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and press all of them. Finger press them first, and then I'm going to take them to the iron and finish it. And then I'm going to trim them down just to make sure that they're at 3.5, which is what this size is right here. So they're a little bit bigger, but that's okay. I'm still trying to get my brain wrapped around what it means to be 3.5 inches finished, when technically it's more like 4 inches. It's weird the way the paper works. And this is the one I didn't cut the dog ears off of. Nice.
Yeah, I found that if you cut 4 and you do half square triangles, you end up with 3.5 inch triangles, right?
Yeah, something like that.
It's
You're welcome,
confusing.
John, and thank you for coming. And hey, look, you're in the channel. I see you in the channel. Andrea says her hair was down to her waist. Mine's down to my butt. If I took all the braid out and turned around, you would see what I'm talking about. It goes down to the crack of my butt. So when I go to the bathroom, I have to make sure I don't have my hair down. Because I have found hair between my butt crack. And that's so annoying. Because you can feel it. I didn't know how else to describe it. Oh I think that's the longest I've ever had my hair, come to think of it. I mean, I've always had long hair anyway, but not that long. My mother's hair was down to her knees, but you would never know it because she always got her hair put up. They would come over and make, I don't know what hairstyle you call that, where you tease the hair and make it all poofy on top of your head, and then use bobby pins and hairspray. So she always kept her hair up like that because of the church. Every now and then she, you know, before she got her hair done again, she'd have it in a braid, and it was really long. All displays send out blue light. Yeah, but how do you, is it software you get rid of the blue light, or is it something else? Lori Clark says, I know the pain, Katie. She says hers is just passing by her butt now. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Getting a hairdresser these days is hard. You can't find anyone who has a shop open here in Greenland. So guess who's going to get her haircut while she's in Denmark? And I'm probably going to get rid of, oh, what? I'm going to do something really crazy. And when you see me again, when I get back from Denmark, y'all are going to be like, why did you do that? You'll see what I'm talking about when you see it. I have never done anything funky to my hair ever. I've had perms. I've tried to go dark brown, which made it turn blue. That happened one time. I tried to go blonde one time, which turned it to strawberry red because I have red tints in my hair already. But I want to put purple in my hair.
Great.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. You're crazy. Yeah, but you know what? I only want it where my gray is at. Like get to the, because I have a long streak of gray right back here, and I wouldn't mind taking that one streak of gray right there and turning it purple just to be different. Because it won't stay in there very long, but it doesn't last. Let me see here. What did I miss? John says all displays send out blue light and disrupt sleep patterns. And then he says, I like this one. I think patience applies to the creation of patterns. Oh, thank you. We're coming along. Maybe I'll get it done before it's time, because this is not too hard. This is actually pretty simple, as long as you don't get the triangles turned in the wrong way anyway. The pattern is really simplistic. Did y'all like my idea about making blocks from the Rosa Your Way box?
Yeah. I'm excited.
I am too, because I think it's going to be pretty neat. We'll see what it turns. I was thinking about doing 4 patches and half square triangles, and not necessarily doing them all the same, like do some as pinwheels, or do some of them where all the half squares point one direction, you know, or make hourglasses and do like a 4 patch and then whatever I turn the half square triangle into. You know, just make it different. Design it as I go. See what I can make out of it. All right, we're almost there to get to the iron, and then I'll trim it. Glasses are the only answer. So do you use blue glasses? Is that what you're saying, Frank? One of the problems I have with my glasses is glare. I get this glare from lights, and sometimes that, I think that contributes to my not being able to see good sometimes. And I was going to forewarn you that I might be touching my eyes a lot tonight, but look, I haven't hardly touched them. So whatever was making them itch earlier has stopped. Okay, let me think. So no one wants to tell me who they think, no one knows the answer to who designed the sewing machine?
Is it a guy named Watson?
No, he's, wait a minute.
I've read it before, but I don't remember.
He has a long, I don't know if that was his long first name or his long last name. Hang on a minute. Because I think it's hard to pronounce. Hold on a minute. Gotta go get it. It's on my other laptop, so I'll just look it up this way. Wait a minute. Now this is telling me what, make up your mind which one it is, dude. Wait a minute. I put the question in there wrong. Okay, yeah. He was a French tailor, and I can't say his name, so I'm going to just paste it in the channel.
I didn't want me to handle the situation. I'll generally put there.
Okay, and I'm going to tell you what the correct answer is for the year too. This is the original designer or the original inventor of a sewing machine.
Yeah.
The actual answer for when that happened by this man was 1829. But the other dates you see listed up there are also involved in the next line of each one of these dates was another sewing machine by a different inventor. So after 1829, like the 46, 32, and the 51, those were all by different inventors who created more of a robust machine, I guess. So there's lots to read out about it. Okay, so we're done with the poll, so I'll go ahead and close the poll. All right, I want to know how everybody's, because I know the Great Siberia weather is on. What's y'all's temperatures where you live? I would like to know while I'm sewing these blocks. What's your weather? Only 23, oh, there was only 23 votes.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. I don't mind.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for a response and see how they want me to place the ticket. If they want me to place it.
I'm gonna press these.
Like usually, when customers call in reporting these issues, I have to get the pick it in right away. Because there's not really like a troubleshooting process for the other group. So
Your husband, we can hear him.
didn't permit me to do that.
Mine?
I hear someone talking in the background.
Yeah, just give me a.
It's my grandson. He's getting about 2 rooms.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Is it annoying?
No, but if it's a conversation he doesn't want us to hear, we're hearing it.
That's okay. He's working.
Okay. Judy says it's 31 degrees. Deb S says 34 degrees, but feels like 27 degrees. Frank, what's the temperature in Florida? Thomas told me it's chilly in Carrollton too. And I need a design board so I can show you how I'm going to lay this block out. Darn it. I don't think I have an empty one. But I got everything on all of them, looks like. I have too many things going on at once. Do you ever have that happen? Where you have multiple things going on at the same time? Sherry?
Oh, me? Oh, yeah. a lot. I have to I'm learning just recently in the last couple of weeks to finish what I'm started because I can get multiple things going. Then I'm
Do you do that
stressed.
because you get bored and have to have multiple things going on, or is it just you just don't
No,
think
I
about it?
think that things pop in my head and I think, oh, I want to try that. And I'll wait. And then I want to do it. Then I'll be working on it and I'll get it done. But then another project starts,
Yep.
you know.
That's not like me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to use the martelli and hope it doesn't slip off. All right, I'm going to show you how I'm going to lay this block out now, because everything's ready to go except for trimming. I got to trim down, which that reminds me, I need a different ruler.
Okay, so the way they want me to go about getting it here going is.
First, I need to trim them down before I set them up.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so they want me to, okay, that's what I thought they wanted me to do. So, yeah, they want me to go ahead and just create a ticket about it. We'll advise you, that things that created, you need to, think about the FTC.
Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to trim them down to being, because these blocks here are 3.5. But let me make sure that I didn't cut them to the wrong size. You never know. Nope, they're right. Okay, so what I have to do is I use the diagonal on here and I line it up with the center seam. And this block is actually 4 inches, so I need to take it down to 3.5. So what I'll do is I'll pull the ruler down while keeping the diagonal line lined up, and I'll go down 1/4 of an inch, just 1/4. And I'll have 2 sides where there's 1/4 to cut off. And you make sure that you keep that diagonal straight when you're doing that. And make sure your 2 hash marks for where you moved it to the next 1/4 part is straight. Then you take your rotary cutter and you trim off the 2 sides. Now, when you're done with that, what you're going to do is you're going to flip this to the other side of the diagonal. Then you bring your ruler over here and you line it up with the diagonal. And then you pull the ruler down until you see that it's at 3.5 on the bottom and 3.5 on the left. And then you trim again. Because what you have to do, you have to trim on all 4 sides is what you're doing. But you're doing 2 at a time. And I hope that didn't confuse anyone. Then you end up with a 3.5 inch block, which will fit with this block. Okay, so I got to trim all of them down. I didn't intentionally do this. I could have avoided this if I'd have just used 3-inch unfinished. One of them, yeah. I always get confused by that. I don't know why. Something about, I think it's because the math of it teases me a little bit. Okay, so we're going to trim all these up, and then I'll lay it out to show you how I'm going to sew it together. Turn this the other way and do the same thing on the other side. And you always try to keep the diagonal going this. What I've done is I've set it to this direction. So when I lay my ruler down, you're using both sides of the measurement here, because you'll see you have whole numbers on these sides, and on these 2 sides you'll have like 1.5, 2.5, 3.5 on the black side. Okay, now we'll trim this one. Then we're going to turn it and do the other side. Make sure it lines up 3.5 while keeping that vertical. I mean diagonal, sorry. Do you know that I like making pinwheels? I don't know why, but I think it's because they're challenging.
You keep them in the order they're supposed to turn.
Yeah. I don't, you know, and you know, when I first started out with this, I wanted to make pinwheels because there's something fascinating about them. But I also think it's something to do with that. You know, those pinwheels on a stick that you could buy kids? That
Yeah.
the wind twirl it. I was always fascinated with those too. There was just something about them. And I think maybe that's why I like pinwheels for quilting. Although I haven't done much pinwheels in the last few months because I've been doing other things.
Yeah. I quilted a quilt for someone who had the pinwheels was dimensional. She had a block, but the pinwheels ended up where they were loose, other than one side, so I had to pull around them. It was pretty.
Happen? Oh, because she did it. So she did it on purpose.
She did it on purpose. She took a block, and it was section in 4 sections, and then almost did a triangle, folded a triangle until and then sewed it into the seam, and then flipped back and forth.
Oh,
Each
wow.
one flipped a different way. It was nice.
That's interesting.
I'll send you a picture from
okay.
Messenger or something.
Yeah, that would be great because I'd like to see what it looked like.
Yeah.
Something different.
Yeah, it was.
All right, we got this one trimmed. We got one more and then we can start sewing the rest of this together. Yeah, I'm always interested in seeing different techniques. You know, I want somebody to teach me how to do applique. I know how to do reverse applique. That's pretty easy to me. But I've never done regular applique.
The needle turn, where you turn, because you can do it and not have to turn it, the raw seam as you sew. You could do it with a fusible on the back, and it ends up turning the raw edges under, and then you can hand applique it on.
Okay, so which is better, the raw or the fusible on it?
For me, yeah, well, they end up looking the same. It's just depends on, are you a purist that really, I think you should do one thing at least at one time to try it, with a needle turned, and some people just love it, but you know, your fingers as you get older don't get as nimble, you know?
Yeah.
So the other way works. Yeah, the other way works better for me, but I've done both.
Okay. Well, I want someone to teach me. That's for sure. Because that's that's why I don't consider myself an intermediate, because I don't know how to do that. What else is it that I don't know how to do? There's a couple things I still don't know how to do.
That's like,
I mean, I'm just finally getting where I can do binding mostly okay, but I still feel like that the binding is mediocre around the corners. So maybe the way I'm sewing it, when you first sew it onto the back or onto the, I sew on the back and flip it to the front.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I'm not doing the fold properly. The reason I can't get it to look like a miter properly. It looks mitered, but it's not. Sometimes it's not totally lined up straight.
Well, you can take a little marking tool, and when you're getting close to to where you're going to turn that corner. You want to be
Mhm.
a quarter of an inch away. Then you can keep your needle down, pivot, and go off the corner.
Okay.
So off the corner. Then when you lift it up, after you're done and you turn it the other way and you lift it up, it'll have a 45-degree angle on it.
Okay, so maybe I'm not doing it quite properly then. Maybe that's what the deal is.
And then, yeah, and then you flip it down and you sew it, and then it will. I'll
Okay.
do a video for you.
Okay. We'll play a little bit, right? All right, now let me make sure I have this turned the right way. One thing about this, if I'm not paying attention, I could definitely put this triangle in the wrong direction. And hopefully this won't fall off so I can show it to you. All right, so this needs to be facing up. Oh, I think this is gonna look cool, maybe. And this one is gonna go up. All right. Okay, now I have them on here. Now let me see if I can show it to you without ditching them off the Martelli. What do you think?
Oh, I like it.
See, I just did. Aw, I just ditched them. That's because I need a design one. Yeah, what do you think about the colors like that?
I like them a lot.
And what about everybody in the channel? What do you think? Let me see if I can hold it on here. It's gonna fall. All right, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and start getting them sewn at least in rows where you can see what it looks like. Okay, so it's ready for sewing. So what I will do is there is 3 by 3 going on here. So what I'll do is I'll start by sewing 2 rows or two squares together side by side. So they'll end up like this. And then when I get the seam going down it, I'll press them open, and then I'll go ahead and start sewing this 3rd row onto what I've already sewn, and then I'll show that to you. So let me go ahead and do that. And I need to switch everything around a little bit. I need to.
When you say reset, did you pull backward?
I have lots of paper on the desk right now from where I tore it off. All right, we need to switch. Now I have to also, at the same time, I need to switch back to my other foot, which is a 1/4 inch foot. And I'll show you what it looks like for those who have never seen this on the Janome. There's like a little thing over here. And on my Janome, when I put this foot on it, my Janome knows that I put this foot on here because it'll show on the machine. And then I press a button and I move the needle to the right, which automatically sets it to that 1/4 inch. And then what I'll do, as soon as I get some stuff out of the way here, put that up there. So, okay, so I have things lined up. Scissors. And I probably will pin these so that the blocks don't move while I'm sewing them. I would rather it didn't get off kilter on me. Oh, look, I used the word off kilter.
I can tell.
Pat says she has multiple crafts going on at the same time. Hey, Pat, what crafts do you have going on right now?
I have 11 minutes.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, if anything happens again.
Deb S says she has at least a dozen going at the same time. Sherry,
Wow.
did she put her name on there?
I haven't. Wow.
Wait. Oh, John said good night. Cindy Sorette, John, if you're still here. I missed out. You know, John come from the small channel, the 2 small channels I mentioned that I've been networking in, you know, learning how to grow the channel. That's where he come from.
Wow.
And now tonight I haven't seen any of the crew come in tonight, which means they're probably on lives. More than likely, or they're working. I can tell you that spending too much time on the in those two particular channels. It's very well. One of them's okay, but the other one is exhausting because he's got so much noise going on. I don't know how people can do a live with that much noise. He has all these funky little voices or funky sounds going on. He's playing music in the background. He's talking, and you can I hear noise more than I hear him. My brain's like, and I think it's because I just haven't done that in a long time. But you want to hear something funny? I have out chatted everybody in that channel.
Wow.
Because the bot measures who talks the most, and it gives a number. And I've only been going like, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks. And about a week ago, he says, "Oh my God, she out-talked me." He says, "How?" And then he says, "How do you do that?" And I'm like, "I'm from the IRC era, dude. You learn how to talk that fast." Typing. Because his channel moves really fast, so you've got to keep up. Otherwise, you miss out on anything that's being said. If it's some, a channel creator who's in there sharing information, if you're not paying attention, you could easily miss out on the comments. And he's not good at keeping up because I think he gets distracted really easy. So sometimes he misses out on comments, or he'll miss out on a question. Like I've asked questions a couple times and he totally didn't see them. But the people in the chat saw it and they answered the question. Which is good because some of them know more, some of them have been around. There's one couple that it's called Curmudgeon Homestead or something like that. Man, they know everything. And they started out small and now they're like 100,000.
Oh, wow.
And they live in Alaska, which is why I'm fascinated with them, because I want to know more about Alaska. Since we both live in the Arctic, let's learn from each other, you know? So they have a cabin that they're off grid, meaning that they supply their own electricity and everything. And they have an Airbnb that they are running as well for people to come and do their Airbnb while they're, exploring Alaska. So it's been a lot of fun getting to know them. My dad, when I was young, used to say, "I want to live in Alaska," and I never really understood why until I moved here to Greenland, and now I understand why. Denise said,
beauty.
In my opinion, your sewing skills are pretty damn good and great. Lots of video helps on YouTube to teach us just about everything on any subject." That's true. About the teaching you everything. Which one of those quilt block boxes? Which one of those quilt block boxes do you have? Oh, I have the Rosa Your Way batiks. And what were you going to say, Sherry?
Oh, nothing. I was just acknowledging what you were saying.
Oh, okay. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just answering the question. It's the Cotton Cuts Rosa Holiday Your Way batiks box. I decided not to do both the cotton and the batiks because I have so much cotton. And I've been on a batik run for the last, year now, Sherry? At least?
Yeah.
Because just about, well, no. Everything I've made with batiks except for my tumbling tetras, or whatever we named it. I need to go look it up because now I forgot what I named it. Or what we named it because we voted on it. And the other one was, my Raspberry Kisses over here that needs to be finished. Everybody has seen the tumbling blocks one, right? It's not tumbling blocks. It's called, dang it. I have to go look on my community channel because I know it's there. Or community tab, what we named it. Because to start with, it didn't even have a name. Because I designed it inside of my head. Okay, now I have to be careful. This is what these look like. But now I've turned them and they're probably, so I have to make sure that I put them back on here so that they're going in the direction they're supposed to be going. That's not. Wait a minute, I need to turn this around. Oh, here we go. Okay, now I got myself confused. Oh, nice.
What?
Something's wrong. I sewed this on the wrong side. Let me put the blue on the bottom first. Maybe that's the problem. Okay, this is on the bottom. Yeah, I put two of them in the. Oh, me and half square triangles, always confusing. I sewed them to the solid the wrong direction. So guess who's getting out Mr. Seam Ripper? Oh my goodness. Never a dull moment. Oh my goodness. All right, we need to get them talking again. Let me see here. Pat said she knits, cross stitches, and of course quilting. Do any of you guys garden at all? I'm curious.
Patio gardening.
Man, you know what? This summer, this chickadee is going to get her raised garden beds in so I can grow vegetables. I want to plant mustard greens, spinach, carrots, potatoes, lettuce, and I got to figure out how I can start broccoli earlier than it's time to put outside, because by the time, if you start it outside, I've noticed they never get, by the time fall comes, it's not enough time. So I think I need to start them inside, I think, or something, or in the basement, or I don't know, somewhere where the hard freeze can't get at them, and let them get a little bit of growth on them and then put them in the raised bed. Wouldn't mind trying to grow cauliflower and cabbage, but I don't know how much time you need for those. Because I'm pretty sure I can grow, and you know what I wish I could grow here, but I think it's not warm enough, is I would love to grow pole beans. But I think you need lots of heat for them, just like you do with okra. I would like to grow okra. But it's too cold.
Can you grow it in the house?
Well, I can grow tomatoes in the house and I can grow peppers in the house, but I don't have the space for pole beans or okra. And okra, you know how well you can buy those miniature kind, but it's not called miniature. It just doesn't grow as tall. Yeah. I need a greenhouse is what I need.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could, actually grow tomatoes, peppers, and okra in a greenhouse, because during the summer months, as long as you keep the door shut, you don't even need heating because it heats up, because we're getting, 22 hours of daylight. It's just that when they're in the open air, it's still chilly at nighttime, even though the sun's shining. So the temperature doesn't drop to freezing or nothing like that. The problem is okra loves heat. The hotter, the better.
The greenhouse would probably be really nice for you.
Yep. I think it would work perfect for that idea.
Yeah. You could start small with one.
Yep. Maybe we can put one on because we still have another portion of the deck to replace, because we replaced one part of it. Now we got the other part to do. Maybe we could put a small one in when we replace that. and test run it to start with. My boss bought what looks like an igloo, but it's plexiglass, so you can see it's clear.
Yeah.
And they're test running it to see if it can hold up to the weather, but it needs about 18 months of testing to find out if it'll work. And before Nikolai left, we were out walking, and we went by there because we was just out that direction. And I looked at the igloo, and I'm like, I said, honey, doesn't it look like that moved? And we got to looking at it. It had moved this much. So it meant that whoever put it on top of the deck, they didn't screw it to the deck. So the wind moved it sideways.
No.
So I sent a picture to Bitsy, and I said, you know, your igloo has moved at least 2 meters. She says, yep, somebody's already beat you to it. So they got to figure out what to do about that. All right, so there's supposed to be a solid block in the middle. And then this is supposed to be like this. And this goes down here on the end. Let me make sure I got this all lined up right. No, don't. Hang on a minute. Let me get myself organized here. This is right. This is right. This one's right. It's these over here that are facing the wrong way.
I'm asking if anybody else has a greenhouse. I typed it in the chat.
Okay.
See how it works for them.
Yeah, I turned these the wrong direction altogether too. See what happens? Anyone have a greenhouse? Oh yeah, I saw that. Do any of you garden at all? Maybe not. Maybe I'm the only weird person that likes to dig in the dirt. You know, that having that superpower of growing things, it got me through many rough times when I was growing up. It was my little escape from all the bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go sit in the greenhouse for hours until somebody come drag me out of there, you know? Because I actually built a greenhouse at one point. It was a big one. It was a 12 by 12 by 12. And it was loaded with plants. There's just something about gardening and being with nature. Feels yummy.
Lori says that she has never had luck with broccoli.
They must be finicky, huh?
Yeah.
Someone said carrots were finicky, but I didn't have no trouble with the carrots. They said darn broccoli I had trouble with.
Yeah.
They wouldn't mature to make the heads. And that you can't eat them if they don't have heads on them. Not that I'm aware of anyway. Oh, I need to turn this the other direction because it's, yeah.
Okay.
All right, let me see if I can sew this right this time.
So what I'll say to that here is the folks you would want to get.
We're doing good. It's 19 minutes after 9. My time.
They closed up here again.
They
are on Monday, so if you were still interested in getting a router from us, you have to wait till Monday there.
So I went to our local post office because they handle internet too. Because our internet's been very weird lately, and so they do have upgrades where you can have better speed and stuff because they're switching to a and what do you call it when they update, when the world becomes updated with more speed. Anyway, when I went up there to find out if I could switch over to the new modem, she looked at the map and she says, do you see that dark red spot that goes over the top of your neighborhood? Yeah. She says, they haven't got to your neighborhood yet. I'm like, what? No. So there's this red spot over our whole neighborhood where we're the only ones that don't have that high-speed internet. I mean, higher speed than what we already have. Like, you gotta be kidding me. What they've done is they've concentrated on areas that are like the villages and settlement area. They've been trying to get better internet in those areas for the kids, so the kids could do education online, but to help them with getting better education until they have to move here, because our town hosts all of the smaller villages and towns once they leave grade school and go into middle school. From middle school through college, they go here. So they live in dorms. But now they're building apartments so that the whole family can come, so the child's not separated from his or her parents. Because the way they've been doing it, they've been separated from them.
That's
That's
so
hard on
good.
them. Yeah, and it's hard on them.
Yeah. Got my bag done for my daughter.
Wow, that looks great. Somebody
Yeah,
needs to make me
I
one.
like that one.
So what size tablet will that hold?
A 10 by 9 or something like that.
Okay.
I think it's
So
a
this-
generation 10. It'll fit.
Nice. So it'll fit mine.
This is 12 long and 9 wide.
Sweet.
And there's room inside when you put your iPad in.
That looks great.
Thank you.
Good. You did real good.
I'm gonna get it to be a pro on this. It's me to make it.
Hey, you done more than I know. I don't even know how to make one.
It's like it was the zipper that intimidated me, but
Yeah.
I thought, okay, when something gives me a hard time, I'm just more determined to get it figured out.
Yeah. What intimidates me is the back part of it, not the zipper. All those tight corners and bulk.
Chopstick
Yeah.
is what I use to push those corners out.
Denise says I did with my parents. I'm going to try it again this year. We'll look into greenhouses. Please don't take offense to this. Everybody needs to learn how to grow their own food, because there might be a time when you need to know how, especially with the current state of affairs. And let me tell you what, it was crazy going almost a month and not be able to buy eggs. So there's been a discussion here recently with the locals that they want to build a chicken house so that we don't go without eggs like we've been doing.
Yeah.
The science station seems to be doing good with growing food, though, but it's just not enough yet to sustain the whole South Greenland, because it started out small because of testing. They have 4 long greenhouses, and then the rest of the stuff is done outside during the growing season.
Do they have chickens?
There's a couple people in this town that has chickens.
Okay.
I have tried to convince my husband about chickens, and I keep getting the big NO.
The
And
easy.
He's not worried. What the problem is building the right building or chicken house that can sustain them during the long winter months.
Yeah, they'd have to have a heater in there, which they do in the US too. I mean, there's cold parts.
And I guess his concern is that, when we get heavy snowfall, trying to get out there to feed them is going to be difficult. And checking on them, make sure they're warm enough. I think that's why he keeps saying no. He thinks it's going to be more than it's not going to be easy, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
It's much, and I'm like, oh, chickens.
Some money off of those chickens there in Greenland.
You bet you could. And if you have a rooster, you could be making babies too.
Yeah.
Let a couple of them, sit.
Yeah.
Get them babies and grow the population a little bit.
You'd be selling eggs and
Yep.
chickens.
And I would be butchering chickens.
Yeah. I remember my mom doing that. What
Mom
we
do
didn't
it?
raise chickens, but yeah, she'd do it, and we'd watch it after they butchered it,
Yeah.
and then
You know
just
how my
run.
mom, you know how my mom dispatched them? She'd go catch them and hang them upside down on a clothesline because she didn't want them flopping around in the dirt or on the grass getting all bruised up.
Yeah,
So she
well,
would end
that's
it,
smart,
and
actually.
leaving them hanging like that allowed the drainage process
Yeah.
too.
That was probably more humane
Yep.
way too.
She didn't like stressing them out, holding them
Yeah.
on a block to do it that way.
Yeah.
Hanging upside down, I'm sure, was stressful too, but not as bad, I don't think. Because you could carry a chicken by their legs and they just go limp,
Yeah, they don't mind.
Yeah, it's like some kind of soothing thing for them.
Mhm.
She didn't believe in making an animal stressed out when right before they're going to be turned into food. She always taught us to be humane, don't be mean. Because you have to appreciate your food. And thank them for, giving themselves for your food, and that made sense to me.
Yeah.
And they do the same thing here. A lot of times you'll see Greenlanders thanking reindeer for, when they've shot one.
Yeah.
They don't just go and be terrible about it. And I think some Greenlanders would freak out if they saw dogs chasing deer with hunters chasing dogs. Because they do that a lot in Florida. They use dogs to chase deer. And my dad would get all uptight and upset about it because he's like, that is not hunting. Because he was a still hunter. He had a tree stand, or he would sit in the wood, in a woody area where the deer couldn't see him. And that's how he hunted.
Yeah, my son hunts, and they were going to go hunting after Thanksgiving. I didn't hear whether or not he got a deer, but
well, hopefully he did.
Yeah. We had deer in our yard. Like we live in a small town that has grown. I mean, it just has really grown. But there was a lot of wooded area. Well, we still have deer that is in here, and we look out and there'd be 2 deer across the street and 3 deer in our yard at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really nice because, they're not afraid of people, because they're not hunted right here.
Yeah. It's like, when I went fishing with my friends, because they have a boat and they take me with them quite often during the summer months. And when Nikolai's home, he goes too. And there's an area where he fishes for salmon. And we were sitting on the boat one afternoon. I think we had already spent one night there. And so the next morning, we were getting the salmon out of the net. And this fledgling Greenlandic eagle was just sitting up there on the bank. We don't know where his mother was. She finally made an appearance like later that evening, so she must have been out hunting. And he didn't know how to fly yet. He could fly a little bit, but not much. But he sat up on that bank and just looked at us like he wasn't even scared of us. And so when they were cleaning the salmon, Ellie's like, why don't we just go give him some of these fish parts? He was young enough that he didn't know how to eat properly.
He was still being fed.
He was still being fed by her.
Yeah. Wow.
So he was still quite young. He just was humongous. He was so big.
Wow.
Because eagles can be up to 3 meters across. When they're full adults, the wingspan can be up to 3 to 5 meters, depending on sex and everything.
I'd like to see one up close, you know?
Yep, they're so cool. The fledglings don't have white on them. They don't get the
Okay.
white till they're like 4 or 5 years old, I guess. So
Huh.
when you see an adult with a white tail on them, they're
Yeah.
totally a mature eagle.
Wow.
When I first moved here, you used to see them hanging about town, and so I asked about that recently. I said, why are we not seeing eagles now? When I first moved here, like the first 5 years, they were always around during the winter months. And the person said that's because you used to have very bad winters, and so hunting was hard for the birds, so they would go hang around town and prey upon whatever come through there, cats, whatever they could find. And but when we started having these warmer temperatures in the winter months, food was plentiful because things weren't hibernating or being, were disappearing, where it was making it hard for them to eat. I have an interesting story
I
about
think they like cooler areas
Yeah.
too, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I have an interesting story. One of the times I went out on the fishing trip. Is everybody okay in there? I hope we haven't.
I've been chatting with
Oh, okay. All right. So
Judy.
one time.
Judy left.
Oh, okay. Bye, Judy. So one time I went out with them, and there was sea ice across parts of the fjord when we were going to our destination, and there was a seal sitting out on top of the ice. Now, the whole time I'd been out with them for like 4 years, I never saw a seal. And Torben saw the seal, and he's like, "We're going to get this seal." So he slowed down and dispatched the seal, and then he tried to get the boat through the ice, and discovered that when he got about 15 meters in, the ice was too thick, but you couldn't walk on the ice because it was cracked all over the place. And while this was going on, you could see 4 eagles soaring right above the ice, looking at that dead seal. Guess who got a free meal?
Somebody got a meal.
Yes, they did, because he couldn't get to the seal. He was going to bring the seal home and eat it, and turned out he couldn't get to it. But the 4 eagles got free meals. They didn't even have to go hunting that day. And by the next morning, most of the seal was gone.
Yeah.
They really went to work on it.
That's one thing about animals, like in the wild. If they don't eat what they don't eat, there's another animal that will eat.
Yep.
What's left over.
It doesn't go to waste.
No.
That's what's so beautiful about nature, is it takes care of itself for the most part.
Yeah.
And everything has a purpose. Buzzards are there to clean up the dead things. Coyotes and wolves are there to keep the population at a more manageable population rate. And when you wipe out predators, then the population's too big, and you end up with animals starving because there's not enough food.
Yeah. That's like with deer, in certain areas, they get so populated that the adult deer, if they're not hunted, the adult deer survive, and the baby deers don't survive as easy because they can't reach the tree and the food off the trees because they've been eaten by the adults.
Yep. I think when this planet designed itself, it designed itself to be able to, do maintenance and all these things. And I know this sounds bad, but I've said this a few times. I said sometimes Mother Nature has a bad hurricane, and to me, when you have a really big hurricane like that, she's cleaning house. But people will get caught in the crossfire. I honestly think that people should not live along the coast. Not so close to it, I mean.
Not so close to, not to where their house is hanging off.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They should not be like right there on it.
Did you hear about, did you all hear about the earthquake in California?
I did.
Yeah.
I found out about it yesterday. You know,
Yeah.
I haven't been watching the news now for weeks because it makes me angry.
Oh, yeah. We
And
cut down. We
so I
stopped.
cut way back, but I made the mistake and turned it on yesterday. And my goodness, stuff was going on. There was the earthquake. There was I'm trying to find,
That
there was
senator
the
or no, that CEO got killed.
CEO thing, but then there was the children in California.
Yeah.
That happened yesterday. Another school with violence. And I'm like,
I
I
know.
turned the TV off not to see this. And then I get all feisty, you know, because I'm like, yep, how many kids are going to die before somebody does something about it?
Well, this year I watch, at this time of year, I watch as much Christmas shows as I can.
Yep.
We've been doing that, you know, at night instead of like, we'll watch the evening news local for getting weather and things like that. Then when it goes otherwise, we turn. It's too stressful.
Yeah. I like watching PBS and ABC PBS a lot, but ABC and NBC a little less. But I
Yeah.
got where I can't even watch PBS because it's been so I don't know.
We're not getting PBS here because we don't have cable or anything. We have it
YouTube
in
has
antenna,
PBS.
but it
YouTube
works.
has it. It's on YouTube. That's how I
Oh,
watch it.
really?
Yeah. It's called the PBS News something. And I watched it quite a lot, but the elections kind of burned me out of it, and I'm like, nope, I'm not interested.
That's when we
I'm
said that's
done.
it.
Yeah, because I realized, it was making me really upset, especially certain stuff was, and I'm like, nope, we're not doing this. So I weaned myself off of it. Because you don't realize it, but you end up sitting there watching it for hours, and then you wonder why you're so angry.
Yeah. Yeah. We
And the purpose
had
is,
this.
yeah. So you gotta like not do that.
Nope.
I almost have this block together. Are y'all
Oh.
ready to see this block in a minute?
Yeah.
They're not talking? Why aren't they talking?
I'm getting them. Oh, thank you. Somebody
Oh, yeah, thank you
was
for
so
that.
nice.
You need to give me I need to go look at your channel so I can put the link in the bot. So
It's just my name.
Oh,
You can go in through that way.
okay. By the way, and you can do this too since you're in there. If you hit exclamation selfie, it's all one, no spaces. You can share your channel. So any of you that's got channels, please share your channel. That includes you, Andrea.
Yeah, because there'll be people that may not.
I forgot to.
No, and then you can go in. I've gone in and I thought, oh, I'm going to look up their channel. Huh?
There it is.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting to tell you guys about hit exclamation.
Thank you.
Because I'm fine with sharing them, and you can share them all you want to. I don't care.
Oh, okay.
I'm fine with that.
Oh, thank you. Someone asked me if I had a channel, and that's how that conversation got going. I says, a newbie and still learning.
I didn't even know you had a channel.
Oh yeah, I don't have a problem with content. It's the camera and doing the two-way camera and how to, I think I'm trying to want to do too much too soon.
You have to pace yourself. I didn't start out with two cameras.
I decided just to go back myself up and go simple, and then I'll work.
Yeah, you got to pace yourself. That's my best advice currently, because if you don't, you're gonna. And it took me a while before I even did a live. I think the channel was a couple months old before I even tried my first live, and let me tell you what, it was a train wreck.
It's like I feel like I could do a live, but then how do you let people know that you're doing live? Get enough, to interest or whatever that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like catch 22.
I do know that I have got to get myself back in a sewing room because this room is so well, it's either that or I ditch some things in the living room and turn this into a sewing room, but I don't want to do that. I need
Well,
to just do something about
Think of something that would just really excite you if it was in there. You know, even if it's your being able to put up a design wall to
yeah,
where
because
it
now
has
we
the
have
light.
another solid. Yeah, now we have another solid wall we didn't have before
Yeah.
because there was a window in it.
Well, when Nikolai comes back, have him help you with the design wall. And then what happens is then you can go in just in spurts to put something on the design wall. And so you'll find yourself starting to stay in longer and longer.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah,
Because
you're
that's part of the problem is I need to be able to stay in there long because the longest I'm staying in there right now is 30 minutes, and then I'm like want to run out of there.
okay.
Well, what makes me want to run out of there is I clean up glass. I'm cleaning up glass. I'm still cleaning up glass, but every time I move something else, there's more glass, and I'm finding glass in places that I don't understand how glass got there. It's crazy where glass is at. And
Do
then
you
I
have
get upset
like,
and walk out.
do they have like a cleaning service or anything there? And somebody would come in and say, yeah, for this amount, I'll go all through that and get rid of, clean up the
Oh,
glass
I
and all
might could
that.
find out. Well, I do know we have a cleaning service here in town. I might could go talk to them about it and find out what they would charge to do it because it really stresses me out.
Just so you don't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And, tell them that they may
I
have
have
to
to,
come back if it shows up again or whatever,
yeah.
but
The other thing is I've already thrown out. You know how when you're quilting, you have small pieces of scraps that you don't throw
yeah,
out because you plan on making a scrap quilt with them. I threw
yeah,
away 2 bagfuls of those because there
it's
was
probably
no
full of
way.
glass.
It was so full of glass I couldn't because I'm
Yeah,
afraid to run it through my sewing machine. Not to mention me getting cut up by it.
yeah.
And I have found little slivers of glass in the bathroom, which mean it migrated in there with me on my clothes. And so I'm like, I told Nickel, I said, be mindful if you see something shiny on the bathroom floor, it's glass. And he says, yep, I already picked up a couple pieces, so I'm way ahead of you. But they were so tiny, the only way you saw them is because you sat down to do your business and you see this twinkling and you know that shouldn't be on that tile,
Yeah.
Oh, Andrea says not live, she meant video. Oh, okay.
Oh.
She says she has good cameras, but cameras do not make good lives if the person behind them forget to turn them on. Uh-oh. I've done pre-recording and it not be on, and I'm like, what in the world did I
did
what?
Yeah, I did one and it turned out so good. It turned out so good, but it was good. And I go and I have no voice. It didn't get
no.
no volume, no voice.
Oh
And I
no.
oh, no. So that's learning curves, I guess.
Yep.
You got to earn your badges, I guess.
I wish I could find someone and ask them if you know how you used to have camcorders with film or with the tapes, but now you can actually buy a digital camera, and it looks like the way it videos is better than
the other
camera on the laptop or the phone. And
I do have a Sony that takes the little cassettes.
Yeah.
But I have to go get the little cassette. I don't have one, and that shouldn't be digital. That's digital, but
I think I have a camcorder too that's in storage. But I want to buy one that's a digital one where you just put the memory card in it.
yeah.
But I would like to try testing it, like when we go out on the boat and the boat is moving, because Torben is not going to, when Torben gets ready to go somewhere, he don't waste time. So we're doing 26 knots going through that water, and there might be icebergs everywhere. And he's lived here his whole life, and he's not fascinated with them like me and his wife is, because his wife is from Thailand. So she's as fascinated with them as I am. And we're, I'm 13 years in and I'm still fascinated.
Yeah, they would be.
And so he doesn't always want to stop and let us, do our thing. So we stand at the back of the boat and we're using our cameras to video. And I'm wondering if a camcorder wouldn't work better for that. Or a GoPro.
Let's see.
One of them. The only thing with the GoPro is when you have too low of light, it can't film. I got this block almost done, you guys.
Do over if I had, Mama Jay was saying something about she could handle that, Sherry. I could do over if I had a good video. And then laugh out loud. It's not the destination, it's the journey, Frank says.
Yep.
So true.
Oh, I think y'all are going to love this block, I hope. Hang on, I'm going to press it first. I just think I got this almost finished right before Donna's live.
Still saying it? Do you have like maybe a phone or a tablet that might be already connected to the Wi-Fi?
Okay. Let's see.
Does he always work in the evening?
I shut the door, but my husband brought him lunch and he opened the door back up. Monday nights he doesn't, and Sunday and Monday nights he doesn't, but I could close that door again.
I am so excited about Thomas going to work. I can hardly stand it.
Oh, I know.
I am just.
Is he excited about the job he's got?
Yeah, I think so. He seems like it, and
Good.
he don't seem nervous about it or anything. He's just ready to go.
Good.
We still have one obstacle we're going to have to deal with relating to him working, and that is what are we going to do? What is he going to do with Blaze during the Christmas vacation? So tomorrow or Monday, I'm going to get a hold of Kelly at the school, because there's a couple of, Lisa stays in contact with me, which is one of his caseworkers. And Kelly is a caseworker for, they call it, she's a counselor and something else that has to do with families in transition. And families in transition are like my son. They go from homelessness to a place to live. Yeah. And they help the parents with their children. Y'all want to see my block?
Yeah. Look. Oh, that's pretty.
Looky there, you guys. I'm so happy.
Good.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty perfect point.
Cute. What do y'all think? I really like this hashtag fabric, this boutique. And I could kick myself for not buying more of it. And now I don't even remember where I bought it from. But I doubt you could find any of it, because I don't know the manufacturer or who. Yeah, I don't know whose fabric line. What do y'all think? I'm waiting on somebody to say something. I do have everything pointing in the right way, don't I?
Yeah. It's a basket like, isn't it? It's supposed to be like a basket.
Oh, I don't understand why it's called a double X. I don't understand why. Because I don't see X.
Because there's two X's. If you look at it as an hourglass, but then the crossover, it kind of does an X.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But yeah, it doesn't.
Oh, I see what you're saying, because it's going like this and like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Got it. All right, now that makes more sense, because I'm like, I don't understand what it means.
Yeah.
Deb S says, pretty. Andrea says, I am going to say see you later. I need to grab a bowl of soup before Donna comes on. Have a blessed evening, everyone. Beautiful, Katy. Pat says, awesome block. Love the colors. See you in Donna's channel, Andrea. because that's where I'm going to migrate to, so I'll do some more sewing.
Yeah,
Tomorrow,
okay. Yeah, I got pizza brought to me, but it's I'm waiting till
yeah, let's see, we've been on for 2 hours and I don't know, let me look at this. I've been trying to
4,
not get too carried away. 2 hours is
almost 3 hours.
yeah, almost 3, yeah.
Yeah, so
It's time to like,
it's time to let everybody get something to eat and
I was
then go
hoping,
see Donna, huh?
yep. Frank, are you there so you can see this before we decide to end the live?
I think Frank went out earlier.
Did he? Yeah, because Deb S asked for how he was and he didn't answer.
Yeah, I think
Either that or I don't know. Let me see if he's in the chat. That's one way to find out. I just put, hang on. I know how to look at you. At Frank. Let's see if he's still in.
You can't
He's still
hide
in
from
here.
me.
He's still in here.
Okay. Maybe.
He's just not talking. Probably
Yeah.
because he walked away. Because sometimes we all leave our, yeah.
Yeah,
See,
he
this
might
can
be.
be turned. Look at this. You could turn this in any way you want it to.
I know.
And it would be fine.
Yeah. Oh,
I love this.
then I got an idea. You
What?
put those together going like the blocks, and then on the white spot, you're going to have a triangle. You could practice doing your applique on
Yeah,
a
right here.
flower.
Yep. Yep. You know, when I did the sugary do, she did the reverse appliques. And when I first saw that we were going to do that, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But it was so easy. I was truly amazed at how simple it was. I'm like, well, this is fun. But this sugary do I'm doing now, I'm gonna be hitting some curves, and I've never done curves. And it scares the tar out of me.
You're
See?
sewing the curves.
Yeah, there's 2 rows of curves. But they come together as one big row. And I've never done curves. See, there's another skill I don't know how to do.
Yeah. Just separate it into 3. Find the middle of each side. Pin it. Do the ends, pin it, and then work it all in.
That sounds like a good plan.
It once you do it like that, it's really not hard.
Yep, I just got to get over my fear of it and get on with it.
Do a practice block with
That's what
fabric
someone
that
else said.
doesn't matter.
Take her pattern that she's given us to do it with, and just use scraps and make 2 or 3 of them till you get like the hang of it.
Right.
I think we might. Let me see how many people sitting in here because nobody's talking, which means they're distracted or they left.
They might be going.
Yep, I'm about to look and see. Uh-oh. What happened to my... It says there's 18. Pat says just take your time while doing them, and Sherry says thank you.
Yep.
So it looks like there's 8. It says 18 concurrent viewers, so I don't know if that means there's 18 sitting in here.
Let's see.
Oh, you know what? I could go to the regular part of YouTube and look. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, there's different ones that are.
There's 21 people watching according to this. So I bet you there's another live going. And I'm not complaining. I just was hoping they want to see the vlog.
They're kind of keeping it going too.
Yeah, they are. And that's fine with me. That's watch hours I need.
You do that. I mean, when you want to see both sometimes, or you pick the thing.
Hey, Big Family Expedition. Look what I made. It's another hosted. Oh, they travel a lot. That's what they do. And I've watched some of their videos. It's pretty interesting. There's 2 of the channels that they just go around, and one of them is like having a history lesson because they're videoing whatever town they go through, and they're showing a lot of the historic areas, and it's very interesting what they show. Hey, Squirrely Quilter. She says, I've been listening and sewing. Here's my finished block, y'all. And look, I can turn it any direction I want to. Isn't that fun?
Those points are perfect.
Yeah,
At
I'm
least,
getting pretty good at it.
yeah.
But see, this is what the back looks like. That's why they look
Oh,
good.
yeah. Opening up the seams it helps it from moving
Yeah.
as you're sewing.
Yep, I have trouble nesting the other way or doing the nesting with the turned one way. I still can't quite get the line alignment proper. So I figure
that-
one day I'll figure it out and then I won't have to do the open seams.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
think the open seams really make it look pristine.
well, it can really iron out flat.
Yeah. And I didn't use any starch or nothing. There's no starch. I
Wow.
didn't even use a starch pen on the seams.
Wow.
There's just yeah, so but this is different. I've never done a block like this. This has been fun.
That's good. How many more do you got?
We're making 48 of them, not of the same thing. So
Oh,
every week every
48
week
different.
yeah, it comes in those box of cards. I don't maybe hang on. Did you see the box of cards?
Yeah, I've seen them.
I had the two, but now I've got all three of them now finally, so I don't have to like ask somebody for help. But anyway, she picks one a week. So Sunday we'll get a new one. So this is block number 9, I think.
Okay.
So, see, that block is one of them. Only I got crazy with the. See what I did to it? This is one of the blocks, but I used scraps to make the pinwheel.
Yeah. I like that. Yep.
Sherry said that the young deer couldn't reach the tree branches to eat.
Yeah. Oh,
And something about older deer aren't nurturing to feed the young.
did you see Denise? She says she has my video on the bowl cozies going in the background.
See, that's what we all do. So this
Oh.
block was supposed to be a 9-inch. It wasn't an 8-inch. So the one thing I've got to figure out is, some of these are 8 inches, some of these are 9 inches, which means I did want to put a sashing on them, or I probably will use a sashing. So that means I'll have to figure out the sashing to make sure
Put
I
a
don't know.
border on the smaller blocks. And
Yeah,
then you can
on,
put
on the big ones.
yeah, and not on the big one. And then
Okay.
it actually will bring it up to, you could actually do the blue fabric
Yeah.
as a border, and then it would like blend in and come up to the size that you need it,
Yeah, that's true.
and then do your sashing.
You know what I learned how to do on this one? Do you see the rectangles?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
learned how to do a partial seam.
Uh-huh.
I had never done one until this block.
That's cool.
So it was a new skill I learned. And
You like,
it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But of course, someone was walking me through it. I don't remember who, but someone was telling me what to do as I started on it to make sure that I didn't foobar it when I was doing it.
Okay, so are you sure it's not on cellular data?
All right. What time is time to? All right. It's time to book it over to Donna's. All right.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank
Yep.
you for letting me join you.
Oh, anytime. You can come anytime you want.
Okay.
One more time, tell them who you are and your channel, and then I'll do the rest.
Okay, I'm Sherry Yurton, and my channel, you can look it up by typing in Sherry Yurton, CHERIYURTIN, at my quilting world. And I've got a few videos on there posted, so great. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep, y'all go over there and share some love and subscribe and help her with the watch hours. That'll help. Denise, I love it too. All right, so don't forget to keep an eye out Sunday for a Google form for you to fill out, and I need you to I'm going to give you till like, I don't know, the 22nd maybe of December to get those forms done, because when we start no, I could give you longer than that. Actually, I will give you guys until after Christmas to get those forms done. And I think about 2 days before New Year's Eve, it needs to be done. So I'll stipulate that in the form. But I need you to fill out the forms so that I can get the database started, because the purpose of the forms is for me to do the giveaway without me having to worry about someone not answering an email. And thank you, Big Family Expedition, for visiting. I appreciate it so much. Y'all go check their channel out too, because they do lots of cool things. Remember to live, laugh, love, dream. And what do you do with all that? You make something. Anyway, thank you for coming to my live tonight, and have a great night, and see you on the next video. Good night.
Night.
Disconnect the video or the live. Uh-oh, where'd it go? Oh. Really? It's funny how she knows it's time to eat. What, little one? Did you want to talk? Or you need to go outside, one?